Okay, good morning YouTube. Not sure what happened there. Stream cut off a little bit. Good morning everybody. Seeing this in the future, we killed it today. Still killing it. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the YouTube, just kind of hung there. It froze and just started dropping the stream, so I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, we're back. See what we get going into New York here. Not really much going on. Yeah, we're seeing this in the future. Euro's flat, pound was weak, and the dollar was strong. Took a whole bunch of Euro stuff. Couple pound things, still watching. We'll go through that, all of that in just a minute. Let everybody come back and chill out for a minute. Just kind of watching. Got a couple trades on. Watching EuroCAD come all the way back up. Right now only in Euro QE still. And waiting to see what's going to happen. Anyway, give me 1 minute and be right back. Okay, good morning everybody. We're back. Good morning YouTube. And we're back. Let's go. See what we got here. We're going to get a new hourly candle here. We're going to get our 8 a.m. candle. See what we got. Doing pretty good today. EuroCAD. All the way back on EuroCAD. Good game. Good game on that. Just a range, but this is actually a good thing. For this to stay here, it doesn't look like a high of the day to me. For this to stay up here like this, there's another big strong candle close at the top. It's taking a pullback. Whenever this pulls back, the crazy thing is this may continue. It's very likely to continue with this kind of consolidation. So we'll watch it and see, try to stay safe on it. See what happens. Looks like the euro is going to keep going. Yeah, I mean, see how the euro is just kind of flat here? It's just holding, but everything else is moving around it. The euro is not, it's not really gaining or losing value on average. It's just kind of flat and everything's moving around it. But right now it's looking like it may be going bullish. So what may be losing? Add maybe Aussie. It's already low. The yen's still strong. The dollar's still strong. Euro pound ended up being a good trade. Got stopped out of that one and then it went. That actually made a nice move. We caught it right here. We took it right here. And it went up and then came back, stopped out, and then took off. So good game on that. But this is the point where you probably try to scale some out here. Yeah, watching the dollar because of where this is here. I don't really want to buy it here. You got a block forming right here. You see buyers and sellers in the same place. That's how you know something's going on. You got distribution here. You got distribution of profits and buyers in the same place. So it's going to be a significant level. Waiting to see what's going to happen. Sellers on the top, buyers on the bottom. You got previous sellers here too. So they may be getting filled again or releasing hedges and those types of things, getting stopped out at break even. There's just likely to be settlement here. On the dollar, watching this on the dollar because this matters. There's still room for this to go up, and if the dollar is going to stay strong today, there may be a secondary opportunity on something like pound dollar, euro dollar. That still has room. It'd be nice if it pick up a little bit, make a lower high and die. But see, what's euro dollar doing? Same thing. I mean, this may fail. Fail and roll over and break the low. That's what I would guess. It doesn't look like it's trying to recover. So, just gonna watch it. Do there. Die. Trying to see what I can offset this with. If I can take something short. Yeah, I mean, pound dollar and euro dollar still look like short. It still looks short to me. Yep, dollar bullish. So this is important on the dollar. If we're going to cut through this, strong candle close on the pullback of this next candle, this next 15-minute candle on the dollar index, on the pullback, and be looking at euro dollar, pound dollar, short, both. Line editor. Pound is already weak and it's moving weaker, but the euro is just kind of flat. I think it's the dollar so bullish. So what against, if the dollar is going to be bullish, looking for something that's weak, like dollar CAD. Honestly, dollar CAD just was money today and may continue. It's just pushing it, like it's already moved. This ended up being good, it ended up being the right thing. It's a good game on that. Euro Aussie still is a maybe, because the euro is not, it's neither bullish nor bearish, and everything's moving around it right now. You're looking to play the dollar. Euro CAD super bullish close there. It's crazy. Things just won't come down. Had this right the whole time. Twice. Again, another bullish close. This looks like it's going to go. Go again. Scalp it again. I mean, it looks like it's about to fly. Crazy. Thing looks like it's about to moon. Wow. Anyway, we'll come back to that. The euro is going to get stronger. CAD, man, that CAD's rolling over weak again. Euro Aussie is just still good. Like, this looks like it's going to smack out at one point. It just hasn't done it yet. Just absolutely moon. It's just grinding here. This hasn't done it. Really tempting to try to scalp Euro CAD here because of what this is printing. I mean, that's pretty clear what's going on there. I mean, we stayed in a range and held it. There's a cycle playing out here. Extended low here. Pushed up. We're in a range consolidation. This looks like it's going to push up again. Probably right above this consolidation right here. Like, this thing looks like it's about to go. Like, because of, you know, maybe a stop right here. Not a stop out, but, you know, a pause. You know, as, you know, if this pushes up, you know, one little pause like this, you know, this thing looks like it's about to take off. That's within the range. I mean, that would be exactly where your high would be above this consolidation. It just looks like it's going to run a full daily candle here. Crazy. Be another 45 pips on that. And watch this for a pullback. That's a maybe. It looks good. Just still bullish. Game on that. And be like a scalp to here, you know, just getting back to this level where your halfway mark is. Just one little push up. That's still, you know, 13, 14 pips. There it goes. Anyway, goes. Euro Aussie's about to go too. Just super bullish. This looks really bullish on Euro Aussie. It just hasn't done it yet. Man. Watching. Wait and see what happens on EuroCAD. I don't want to buy the top of the range, but it'll pull back. That pullback was it on EuroCAD. You know, just it's a good example there. You know, when you got this big candle like that, you know, we always watch that mark. Look where it came back to, bang, and then gone. You know, that was your entry here. But well, leave it alone for now. Wait and, you know, see if this will push and then pull back a little bit, and then may take it again. This looks like it's going to continue higher. The CAD weakness. The CAD's just weak. Pound Swiss, that's interesting too there. That's putting in some good price action. I think Euro Swiss was too. Pound Swiss and Euro Swiss both look interesting here for a potential move back up. This is a possible low of the day on that, on Pound Swiss. Euro Swiss is already moving back up. This is a really good risk reward here on this too. If it would pull back, you know, any red candles, you looking to buy red candles. Period. Things just crazy low. It's very low, below your weekly low. You know, it's, again, the beach ball pushed underwater. The mean reversion, you know, looking for this to come back. Beach ball's been pushed too far under the water, and it's just more likely to float back up to the surface. Yeah. So, you know, see what's going on in the dollar here. Holding, you know, is pushing up. We'll see what's you know, again, just, you don't probably want to, you know, take a position here on the dollar because of where this is. But if we can push through that, if we go break this high, it's very likely to run up a little bit more. You know, so again, any pullbacks, if this would come back into here, that dollar dips back down into here, it might be an entry, probably be a good entry on something like euro dollar. We're just sandwiched in between this little level right here, sandwiched in between the sell side of this block right here and the buy side of the current block. Exactly what's going on. You know, we're just waiting to resolve that. And if this will give you a little dip back down into the buy part here, into the buy zone on the dollar index, may watch something like euro dollar for a short entry, for a continuation. As crazy as that is, you know, it's going to be the opposite here. You're looking for a move back up into there. You know, if price will pull back up into there, it's probably going to be a good risk reward. And it's just literally the opposite. You know, you've got this buy side right here. You're kind of in between. You're sandwiched in between the two of them. You got your buy side of this previous low, and then your sell side of this previous block. I mean, the current block. You know, so, you know, taking a guess, you could just guess that you're going to go break the low. And if it's going to go break the low, a sell, an entry inside of this right now where this is what you want. You know, so we'll watch that. We're sandwiched in between here. We're kind of filling this out, filling this level out. So kind of hard to take a position from here. We're right in the middle. Just wait it out and watch. EuroCAD just broke the high. Lol. Market's definitely moving today. It's great. Yeah, market's moving. Looking good. Got things behaving normally here. It's amazing how much different one day can be than the next. As far as general market behavior and price action, it can just be night and day different. Velocity is maybe. Still watching that. Euro QE still hasn't died yet. EuroCAD's on the way back up. I really wanted to pull back. Really still interested in that. It's heading back up to your previous day's equilibrium, and then if it'll pull back a little bit, may jump in it to try to catch it one more run. You know, we just got a mini cycle playing out here. It's clean. You know, you're just already all over this. You know, just got a mini cycle. It's really clean. It's easy to figure this out. What's kind of happening here? You know, we had a consolidation. We're moving back up. We're going to another level here that's going to be above this previous consolidation. So this is very likely going to come up here and consolidate up here, and then probably put in a high up here like that. liquidity above here. We're on the way up here now. This is very likely what's happening here on EuroCAD. It's just clean, and it may not be the right entry here, but it looks like it's going to go. Wish I would have stayed in this from earlier, but made the right risk management decision, because this could have been the high of the day. The top of this range before this formed could have been the high of the day, but now that we know what this is here, that this wasn't the high of the day, it's very likely to continue higher, and we already know where the money is. So it's just super clean chart. So I was saying yesterday, this is by far the best chart. EuroCAD, there's no question. There's absolutely no question that this is the best chart. Just, you know, it's hard to stay in it without getting stopped out. It's all there. Above the consolidation, liquidity above that consolidation. Knocking out levels here. We got 0.54220. So that's probably going to be our current balance point that we're heading towards. And let's map this out. Above that, I mean, you just got a long way up. That probably stopped. Got a cluster there. That's probably where it's going to be. Shoot for that level. 54636. Makes sense. So just waiting. I'm going to wait for it to pull back a little bit. Try to get in it. It's heading up to consolidate on yesterday's balance point. So as this consolidates up here, maybe look for a pullback if it'll give it to you. It's just, this is very likely what's going to happen here. It looks like it's going to continue. If it's pushed through where we're heading toward, if it does push through where we're going and it consolidates and doesn't turn around and die, and this range that it just put in, it's like a reaccumulation here. Like, this makes me think that it's not going to be a high of the day. You know, normally it'll go up and spike with no structure and then come straight back down. But if this, because this held all this density, it's less likely to cut back through all of it. So, you know, we could just be looking at another range up here, another consolidation, and then a poke through that to make a high of the day later. Like, it just looks like it's going to go up again. It's crazy, because we could have run, this is one of those that, you know, you could have run it for 75 pips, you know, just got shaken out of it a little bit, but it's all right, you know. But now that, you know, now we got a better idea of what's going on. So your next potential high of the day is going to be right here where this level is, but hopefully not. You want to see this push up through it and then consolidate here. You want to see a range here. You want to see some kind of range. This is just textbook. I mean, it's beautiful price action. You could not ask for anything better than this. You know, given what, you know, it's all there. Clean. See. Wait, let this stabilize, maybe get back in it. See if it pushes up here and holds, and if it holds, honestly may try to catch whatever the low of whatever this range is going to be, wherever it is. Try to catch the low of the range and then try to take that one more little push, maybe another 30 pip move on that. Just clean. Check here. Second. Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me on YouTube? Something happened to YouTube a minute ago and it cut me off. Just making sure you guys, is anybody there? Blink once if you can hear me. Maybe not. Okay, cool. Thank you. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know what happened a little bit ago. I was on and YouTube kind of cut me off there. But what happened? It just dropped the stream and it wouldn't come back on. So I was just making sure everything was working. Alrighty. Back to it. Oh gosh. I think Euro Swiss could go up. Let's take a look. Maybe. Yes. I mean, do I think it could go up? Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Extremely low. In the cycle, you know, you've had a multi-day drop in the cycle. You got a potential low here. I would wait. May not be the best time to enter it because when it gets up here, probably going to get some slowdown when this comes up into this level. As far as an entry goes, you know, this is heading back up to the low of the range here today. And if it would pull back, a little bit, I would be more interested in it. I mean, it's probably going to continue up. The only problem is I would just make sure I had a tight stop on it if you were trying to do that. It's weird. The spread's weird on this one. You know, it made a low. You know, the issue is if you got in it now, you're going to run right straight into some sellers. So it may be better to just wait, you know, let this push up and then wait for it to pull back and see if you can, you know, if we can figure out where the range low is. We'll watch this one because there may be a trade here. We'll watch it. We'll watch this. You know, there may be something here, but right now, you know, if you think about if you bought it now, you're running directly into a point where there have been sellers in the past multiple times, so they're probably still there. You know, so as this comes up here, everybody who's long right here on the low is going to start taking profit, and it may pull back a little bit. You know, so you may get, you know, something like this, you know, where you get a range, and this could even retest the low. Like, it's possible that happens. So it's not really the best idea to take it now, even though this was a bullish candle. That was a really good candle that closed. If you were going to take it long, I would just make sure to have a stop in. The spread's big on this for some reason too. I would just make sure I had a stop in because, you know, you're going to have to go up a little bit and then probably pull back. You know, there's probably going to go up and then be in some kind of range like this and then hopefully continue on. But we'll see, because it's not that far away from a point where it's very likely to have some rejection. But we'll watch this. I mean, it's extremely low. Like, this is one of those, like, if you took a small position and just left it, you know, next, like Monday or Tuesday or something, this thing's probably going to be way up, like way higher. This is very likely the cycle low with that kind of spike like that. After breaking, yeah. I mean, it's just very likely to go up quite a bit, at least a little bit. But yeah, I would wait on it to take an entry personally. But, you know, as long as you're managing your risk, if you've got a smaller position, maybe. But it would be better to wait, to be honest. Maybe look at something else. We'll watch it. We'll watch this. Yeah, it looks like some of the euro pairs are coming back up. Looks like, you know, the euro's bullish. Euro CAD was just money. Just had it right the whole time. Got shaken out of it a little bit, but that's all right. Yeah, euro's still bullish, but it's not really that strong, to be honest. Everything's moving around the euro. So, you know, euro is just flat, and then everything else is moving around it. You know, yen, Swiss, and dollar are very strong. Then the pound, Aussie, Kiwi, CAD, they're all very weak. And you got the euro just kind of chilling in the middle. You know, there's not really changing direction that much. You know, there's not really much of a directional move on average. So, watching it, just gonna wait. This is definitely interesting on Euro CAD still. If this will pull back, doesn't look like it's done. You know, if it'll pull back a little bit. it's low enough to try to get back in it. Anyway. Yeah, so looking for some kind of range here on EuroCAD's probably the best thing that's going. It's the cleanest movement, and it's actually moving. Get rid of it. We can see what we're doing here. But just to illustrate, you know, this kind of thing, illustrate the cycle that's playing out. You know, just looking for this to pull back a little bit and maybe get back in it, to be honest. If it'll come a little bit deeper. It's just still there. He's just bullish. Wait for it to come back lower, hopefully. Yeah, just waiting. Let it come back a little bit more. We're just kind of in a dead spot here. It's 8:30. See what we got. That's moving. News on the dollar. Oh yeah, we got I think it was like not CPI. I think CPI is today too, but retail sales or something. Let me look. I think it was retail sales today. Yeah. Yep, we'll watch it. 8:30. So 6 minutes. We'll have retail sales. We'll see what's up with it. Give me 1 second. We'll watch it. I'm watching for a pullback here. Might actually take a stab on this EuroCAD again. As crazy as that is, it looks like it's not done yet. That doesn't look like a high to me. Anyway, give me 1 second. Be right back. Sorry about that. Had to mute for a minute. Girl's going to work and dogs are going to bark. It might be your entry right here on EuroCAD. You know, if your risk appetite is high enough, you know, this is where you take this long, to be honest. And you're gambling that it's going to pull up and consolidate here and be some kind of range and then move higher. A little sketchy because we're kind of tapping into, you know, we're kind of tapping into some issue here. It just looks like it's going to go higher. So we'll watch it. You know, this level on the tool here, you know, this red dashed line right here is a very important level. You know, this is one of basically two places that's likely to be your high of the day. This is very often the high of the day. The only reason I don't think that is because of how dense this consolidation was right here. I think there's enough support here to hold this up. And if it's going to push through this level, then it's very likely going higher. So we'll watch it. The heck? watch and see. Bitcoin's coming down a little bit. a little bit of dumpage there. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And coming back to a potential range low. Yeah, this thing is just, it's rejected this previous consolidation here with the drop point here where it dropped and then consolidated underneath. This is a roll under. We talked about this in the past. Gold famously did this on a higher time frame, like a weekly and daily chart. You get a roll under here where you make a high, you get a cycle high, and then it rolls back under to the point where it dropped, and that's very likely going to be your lower high point. So this is actually not really that good, to be honest, on Bitcoin. That's super sketchy right there. Looks like it's going to continue lower. That's pretty much confirmed. It rejected underneath the previous high, like the high consolidation, like a distribution. It's more of a distribution up here. When this rolls back under and then rejects there, it's a lower overall high. Not good. You're going to be looking at this swing low right here for a target. Whatever your last global swing low was. Right there. People don't want to hear that, but getting juicy here. This is actually starting to put in some price action on Bitcoin. The same thing as this. It's literally the same price action as this right here. Exactly the same thing. If you zoom in on this, let's zoom in on this right here. It's the exact same thing. You had a roll under. Yeah, it just happened on a smaller time frame, in a fractal time frame. You had a distribution up here. You had a drop, and then you came back up to test that distribution, but failed, then made a lower high. It's just likely to come back. It actually went one more iteration, came back, made another lower high, and then took the dive. It's the same price action, exactly the same thing. This happens on all assets all the time. It's a roll under. It's a roll under. Some people call it a low risk sell. It's the market maker sell model, low risk sell. It's just a roll under. I mean, it's failing to get back above a previous distribution range. You distribute, come down, pull back up into it and fail, and then die. It's exactly the same thing that's happening right now on Bitcoin on a higher time frame. And it would suggest a break of the low, the swing low. I mean, it's extremely common price action for this kind of thing to happen. Come back up, fail, distribute, come back and break the low. Maybe not that deep, but the point is, roll back under, fail, make a lower high, come back, and your target swing low to break. Liquidity below that low. It's what it looks like. What it looks like right now. The interesting price action on Bitcoin. Actually, right now, it's not. You don't want to short it now after breaking a low, local. You got a local low here. You just broke another one. Would wait for it to pull back up a little bit. It could even come up and retest that high and fail. Kind of thing. It could even do this kind of thing, and then then go. But overall, the general price action direction looks like, this kind of thing may be happening. It just may play out over a longer time period, but this, for this to fail here and confirm to come down after, kind of fail under this consolidation, doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. Bitcoin does weird stuff though. People buy it for weird reasons. It pumps irrationally and who knows, but price action wise, this does not look good. This looks like a lower high, and it's time to start getting really interested in sells. It might be time to start trading this thing. And it's not the right time now, but this dump kind of confirms it. If this will pull back a little bit and just still not break this high. If this retests this current high here and fails, it's going to be time to trade Bitcoin. You know, if this makes it up here and it still doesn't do it and starts to roll back over again, when this starts to roll back over, you're going to automatically target this current high, current low right here, and look to get back down here. You know, that kind of thing. And that's just going to start the overall process. You know, on the macro, it's just starting a process of dumping. What it looks like. But that's interesting there, actually. Yeah, sorry guys, talking to the group there. Do a little quick overview on Bitcoin, what we're talking about here. I was just looking at, you know, we just go over everything on the group all the time. You know, some things are there, some things are on YouTube. The quick synopsis is you got a distribution range right here, rolling under. You're failing below the previous. You're failing below this previous range right here. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. It's an extremely common type of price action. I was just saying that, you know, since we distributed here, we rolled under. It's a very common thing. Gold may actually be doing this right now. That's why I would watch gold and see if it actually pulls back up and makes a lower high. The same type of price action. Gold is like right here in the cycle, and it may actually start to make a move up next week. But gold is very similar price action to this. It happens all the time in gold, but very similar price action. Man, you're a CAD. Man, just all over that. That was the entry. That's when I was money today on that. That was your entry, your pullback entry. So this is good. Like, this is bullish. You know, this is your confirmation here. It's things going up. But yeah, anyway, on Bitcoin, you know, it's kind of what we're talking about is you got a distribution here on the high, and, you know, it's selling. You know, it's a distribution of profits for everybody who accumulated this whole time and got in. You know, this is everybody getting out. So now you had the big sell off, and now you're coming back up. It's a roll under. You know, it's rolling back up to the spot of the scene of the crime right here. You're rolling back up to this distribution, and now that failed and it came down, that is not a good thing. Now you're looking at a situation when it comes down here, you're probably going to stop in this density right here, then pull back up and maybe retest and then roll over like that. Like on the macro, like this is how downtrends start. You know, this is exactly how that happens. You know, you get a roll under that fails under the previous consolidation, or a distribution range, it's more appropriately. And it's just a very common type of market cycle thing that happens. And, you know, now that this fails, you know, you're on the way back down, probably back down to here. And it was to say your target is your swing low down here at 30K, looking to break that over time. You know, it's just what it looks like. Like it's getting juicy here. It's about time. You know, Bitcoin does do weird stuff, but price action wise, this is starting to exhibit some behavior of a cycle high, and I mean way high. I don't think people are fully ready for. And people aren't going to believe it. It's going to be disbelief, is what it's going to be. Like, yeah. More euphoria. People, I don't think people are ready for what's possible. I don't think people understand what's coming. Everybody thinks it's going to the moon. Yeah, just gonna watch this price action here. It could take a very long time to play out, but it could be way worse than that too. You know, it's just, you know, you got to think about what's possible and not say that it's impossible. Everybody said it was impossible before. You know, everybody always thinks it's impossible until it happens. So, just saying. I can feel the dislikes coming on the video. But I trade what I see. I don't trade with my emotions. How you lose money. Anyway, yeah. So we got a lower high, got a roll under and a lower high. This is very common price action, very common market cycle behavior. Anyway, watch that. I'm gonna watch that one. EuroCAD to the moon. Man, just all over that today. All right, so this is where your consolidation is going to be, hopefully. Yeah, it would. Yeah, and that would. It's a good thing. You know, that's a good thing that. You know, like Mr. Ether. You know, it's a good thing that Bitcoin is behaving like a normal asset class. Like it's actually behaving like it actually has volume in it. You know, that's a great thing, because then your lows get higher. You know, every time it makes a low, it gets higher. You know, the low is higher, and it's a good thing. You know, there's always a percentage of people that buy, and then there's always a percentage of people that sell, and then there's the percentage of people who stay in the market. You know, who buy and stay in. Some people just trade it and they buy it and then sell it when it gets high, and then the market breathes in and exhales. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And there's always going to be a percentage of people that are going to stay in just a little bit more. You know, they'll just hold it and say, okay, well, I'll just hold it for later, you know, and then it's a fixed supply asset. So the lows get higher every time. And that's what you want. You want the extreme capitulation low to be higher than the last one. And that's what you want. You know, it's great. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that, you know, that it's behaving normally. You know, you just got to be realistic about price behavior. You know, we've been in price discovery mode. We had no idea where the high was. That's the whole thing I've been saying, is we're waiting for this thing to put in some kind of high and show some kind of price action. We're looking for the lower high. Been saying it for weeks. Just waiting for the thing to stop and put in a lower high. You know, so now's the time where you start getting interested in taking the risk. And if it goes higher, you know, you take the stop. But if it doesn't, you could be looking at just an absolute monster. You know, absolute monster. You know, it'd be better to take it from higher. If this would to chill out here, come back up and fail again, you know, make another lower high, come up here and fail at that one, that would be epic. I would be all about that. I would want that smoke. I'd be all about that. You know, if this level right here, if this would come up here and fail there and not get above that level this time, make another lower high, and then start coming down again, I'm going to be all over that short. All over it. You know, looking to target this swing low down here. You know, just going to be smart about it. You know, I've learned to be disciplined and smart about this, and not, you know, there's no room for FOMO in the market. You know, this FOMO is a hell of a drug. You know, that thing will get you. FOMO will get you every time. You know, so it's got to be realistic and trade what you see. Try to be as emotionless as you can. You know, it's confirmation bias. You know, try not to have confirmation bias because it's exciting and everybody's talking about it, and it's just everybody's excited because it's going up, it's going to the moon, and you get caught up in that and you don't realize what's actually happening, and before you know it, it's too late. You know, because you were too worried about, you know, your bias. You're confirming your own bias that, you know, you just said it's going up, it has to go up because I'm long, it has to go up. You know, just because you have a bias in the market of you know, bullish Bitcoin, and you ignore what's actually happening. You know, so just don't get caught up in that, is all I'm saying. And we don't know that yet. You know, Bitcoin does weird stuff. You know, it does weird stuff sometimes. It has these weird pumps and it just keeps going, and it doesn't stop. But it's starting to put in some kind of price action here. Finally starting to do it. You know, so we'll see. You know, we'll see. Right off the bat, most important thing you need to understand is this swing low right here is very important, and it was a significant level in the past. Whatever the level that is, 30,000, right at 30K, and the other level is that 19K range. This is extremely important right here. This is your target, to be honest. It would be amazing if that held. But I mean, this thing went so high, like it could take a long, like it could be, the trading is going to be great on this. Like it could take months and months to get down there. You know, you could just get this whole, like even if it did start to come down now, you could get this whole big rolling bear market, you know, that comes back up and does that kind of thing. Like it could take a long time to get there. That would be great because the trading is going to be epic. You know, that'd be a good thing. Be a good thing. You know, Bitcoin tends to do weird stuff sometimes, and it just rips the band-aid off though. Like, you know, do this kind of crap, and then all of a sudden you'll get one of these, and then slam all the way back up, you know, and then it does this, you know, just does weird crap. So, you know, you don't know exactly. But if this thing starts to take off, you know, just don't lose all your profits, because I know a lot of people probably bought above 20K, and if it's going down to a level.
You're calling me regarding the financial market now.
What happened?
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Could you just repeat that? Yes, yes. What was your name again?
Call. Hold on.
It's Vivian.
Vivian.
Can you hear me?
We got a prank
I can
call.
hear you. I can hear you absolutely fine.
When scam brokers call, we like screw with them.
Financial market so much.
Yes.
Deathworm's on a call. Hold on, listen.
So before I get the job, I have one question. Do you have any kind of experience in the financial market?
I would say I have a little bit of experience, yes.
Okay, what does it mean exactly?
Well, I am a programmer, and I program indicators.
Oh, really? Do you think that I cannot understand that you're joking?
Would you like the link to my indicator? So if you go to mql5.com, which is the official MQL5 website, and type in free line strike finder
here comes the commercial.
on the market,
Here comes the commercial.
you will find my indicator.
Okay, can you spell it for me?
mql5.com. You know, the website where you get MetaTrader 5 and 4. You should know this. You work on markets, don't you?
Here comes the commercial.
Can you teach me something?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you do is you open up Chrome or your browser of choice, and you type in nql5.com.
Okay, let's
Yep. And in the very top hand corner, there's a little search icon. Could you click on that for me, please?
Okay, I'll do that. Well, I will spell. Wait, I'm typing now. FUST factomas.com. Yeah.
No. I'm gonna guess English is how he hung up.
Man, that's actually funny. He's like,
Damn it, I was gonna put the buy button.
Y-O-U. Oh man, that's hilarious.
But no, BB, guess what happened? I got my very first sale.
Nice, good deal, man.
Oh,
that's
so
good, man.
I can't
Congrats.
even my TV with this wonderful information.
Congrats, man. That's hilarious.
I mean, it sounded like he just didn't believe me that I did this.
I'm like, I know that guy. Anyway, that's a good one. Yeah, every now and then, take the calls from the crazy brokers, scam brokers, and kind of give it a little bit back to them. Pretty funny. Euro Kiwi's moving. Let's go.
Are we on YouTube?
Yes, currently. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you show my indicator to them?
Yeah, we'll do that in a little bit. Hold on, we'll do it in a little bit. We'll take a look at it.
How much did you sell it for? How much did you sell it for, Death? Death.
Kiwi.
No, Death.
know where he went. Uh, man. Man, I might have to do that myself. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people buy, you know, I know people buy stuff. It's crazy. You know, I know people do buy stuff. Yeah, good deal, man.
Like the first time you have a kiss.
Come on, Eurocad. Man, this Eurocad's still going. Man. Do here. Anyway, we'll get back to it. But yeah. So anyway, guys, we were just talking about Bitcoin there for a minute. But yeah, so Bitcoin is interesting right here. Some of the most interesting price action going on. Definitely. So we'll watch that again. You know, we're just going to be looking for a lower high. It hasn't confirmed yet, but if it does start to reject like significantly, then we might be in for a bigger move here on higher time frames. And you can be taking like a 30-40% haircut here. So the thing that nobody believes is going to happen. That's precisely why it will happen. Interesting on the dollar there, actually. Get a block forming on the dollar. It's still bullish. Euro dollar, pound dollar short pound dollar was short. That was a good one earlier. Good game. I should have stayed. I tried it twice. I had too big of a position size on and got out the second time. Then it died. It pushed, so I was in it short twice from way higher. And took a break-even stop and then a small profit on the second one. It's a good game. The dollar's continuing. Yeah. Euro Kiwi still looks good. Still going. Kind of waiting right now. Honestly, it looks like it's just going to keep going. Could take profit on it. It's just a slow grind. Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi's doing the same thing. Euro CAD, just a slow grind. Euro CAD price action's the best. By a long shot. Got the best price action. And just again looking for some kind of consolidation up here. Looking for another range, and then one more high would be great. Let's go. Yeah, just kind of waiting right now, chilling. Oh yeah, gold. What happened to gold? Ooh, yeah, okay. All right, finally. Okay, so, I don't know if everybody was here earlier. We were talking about this morning. That's what this is on the chart. It's just that one of these two levels is likely to hit. We're just waiting to see which way it was going to go. So, as it makes a directional move, you're targeting here. That's all that really was. We were just talking about that earlier. So yeah, good game on gold. Looks not looking very good here. We've got an inverse relationship between the strength of the dollar and gold at the moment, which is good. Good when they're actually when the correlations are holding. Dollar is just still bullish, super bullish. Like it's going to continue. To do about a euro dollar. I don't know if it's really too far or what. It just looks like it's going to die again. Euro dollar is just still weak. If the dollar is going to stay bullish, you would wait for this to pull back and then, try to short euro dollar to break the high on the dollar index. As weird as that is, using the dollar index as a directional indicator for, euro dollar because of the weighting. the uncommon way, not a commonly understood way to trade euro dollar. So this may actually break the low. Pound dollar may go low too. Still, this was a great short earlier. It ended up, man, if we would have just held it, you just left the stop where it was and didn't move it to break even, it would have gone up, not gotten stopped out, and then, you know, it'd been up 35 pips with still potential left on it. It still looks like it's going to dump. Like, this is still bearish. Still bearish. Horrible. I just don't want to sell it now. Wish it would pull back up a little bit, but this kind of consolidation doesn't look very good. And this looks like it's gonna, you know, take another spill here. Good. Yep. Looks good. Just chilling. Waiting, nothing to do but wait for this to close. Got 5 minutes to close this candle. If it doesn't just die and push hard now, any green on the next candle, just looking for green on the next candle to short it. Running the markets over today like everything's good. Been an easy day today. I wish it was always like this, honestly. In Durban sounds like something good. That Durban poison. I've heard of Durban poison before. Yeah, have a good one. Yep, take it easy. Yep, enjoy your weekend. Yeah, it's just, yeah, everything's good. I'm looking to take a couple little, there may be something left on pound dollar, euro dollar, maybe, to just go finish out the low of the day, and still in euro kiwi, about to close that out, watching euro cad, potential short on whatever that is, pound dollar. if this kiwi will break the high, kind of did. One more little push.
Maybe when you've got a moment for coding, can I ask you some questions about Android apps and getting a Google license plate key?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Cheers. Yep. I've been working on a little game with a friend in the Unreal Engine, but we can't seem to figure out how to get a Google license plate key so we can access the leaderboards.
Yeah. That's a process. Yeah, the system, been through that one many times.
Is out of date.
Yeah,
and we're just having a.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it in the Play Console. You go in the Play Console. I mean, it used to be, you know, you just apply. You just tell them, you activate it. That's how it used to be. I'll have to look at it. I know they changed the console, but the developer console. What's that? Sorry, I missed it.
It's not like that anymore. Like, I've been looking up all the videos, and all the videos is this old system, which it doesn't look like anymore.
Yeah, you would just go and you'd say, I want to activate multiplayer. I want to activate leaderboards or whatever, and you would, and they give you each. There's a separate key for each one of them. You know, you pass the key, and then you know, like, you can just it automatically, it does most of it for you, or it used to. I'll have to look. I haven't messed with it in a little bit, but I've got leaderboards and multiplayer in one of my games that's done through Google Play. I'll have to look at it, but yeah, I mean, there's, you know, it's pretty simple overall. Like, I don't know if they've changed the way that they, you know, haven't actually messed with it in a little bit. I don't know if they changed it, but gosh, man.
But it's meant to be really simple, and I feel really fucking thick.
Yeah, it's just, I don't think it's it's not too complicated. It's just one of those things where you got to do it once, and then once you understand like how it works, then it's like, oh, okay, no big deal. It's setting up the code. I mean, it's actually kind of a complicated process. Like, I remember the first time I did it, I was like, whoa, like it took me a little bit. You know, it's because you have to set up everything. You know, you got to, there's a whole bunch of callbacks. I don't know if you have everything set up yet. Like if you've got it actually functional, a functional build, a functional build with Google Play in there, just trying to get leaderboards, or you know, just where they, you know, where you can view it. Hold on a second. That was, you know, from Restream. No, but yeah, it's it can be a pain in the butt. There's a lot of code setup that has to happen once you get all your callbacks. You know, there's a whole ton of callback functions and stuff. I'm assuming I don't know if you're using Unreal. I don't know if you're using Unreal, there may be plugins for it. Like it's probably just, you know, it's so much easier to do that. I know it is in Unity. Like I've done it all manually, like in Java, like setting up all the, you know, all the methods and all the classes themselves. You know, there's a whole bunch of programming that needs to happen. And when I did it all manually, and now it's just containers. Like you just paste the key in Unity. It's like so much different than it used to be.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know where to find the key.
But yeah, it's generally, I don't know. It's probably in a. Actually, haven't looked in a little while. I'll have to log in. Oh crap! There that went. All right. Well, there was an opportunity on Pound Dollar. It just pushed.
Sorry.
It just pushed out. No, yeah, it wasn't you. No, I was just saying I was waiting for this to close and see. I was going to try to short the next candle, but it just pushed early. So it just took it, you know, the opportunity's gone. No big deal. I was hoping that was going to close and then pull back a little bit so I could get in it. It just pushed early and took off. So whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's probably in there somewhere. Like it's probably in the developer console. I'll have to log into it and look, but got all that stuff on another computer. I do all of that, all my development stuff. It's already set up. I'll have to log into that account. But yeah, you just, I mean, it used to be in there. It used to be in the app. Like you would go into the app itself and then, you know, all of your your multiplayer and leaderboards and all the other crap, you know, they've changed it a lot, but, it should be in there. It's just a little, yeah, literally like a license key that you'll put in there. And there's basically plugins for it for Unity, and probably the same for Unreal. It's probably a lot easier to do with, you know, with that environment, you know, like Unreal or Unity, than it is to do manual. I've done it all manually, you know, actually, you know, putting all the methods in.
Which does everything. It's just that you need to have the Google Play license key, and we can't find it.
Yeah, as far as finding it, I don't know. It's got to be, I mean, it's got to be in there. It's got to be in there. I mean, you have to activate it. I remember you used to have to activate it first, but it's got to be in the developer console. It's in there somewhere. It's probably in the app settings itself. Like you might have to upload an app or a test app to it, create an app. I don't know if you've done that yet. You know, like where you create an app. You probably have to do that. Like if you give it a name, and then, you know, you don't need to upload a binary or anything yet probably, but if you, in the developer console itself for Google, if you just create an app for it, then it's probably in there. That may be the thing. Like you probably need to create an app first. Like, I don't mean like the file itself, but in the console, you have to create a container, you know, the place where you create a listing, you know, where you're going to upload it. Man, Pound Dollar, that would have been a good short. Yikes. It's a good run on that. Anyway, but yeah, if you go into the developer console, that's what I thought you were talking about. So, you know, if you haven't done that yet, that's probably why, because you probably need to create an app first, or a listing, and then it'll give you all the options when you're in there. Like, you know, what images do you want to use? You know, what icon do you want to use? You know, what's the description, the title, you know, there's all kind of crap that you have to do. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff you have to agree to, like whether it's made for kids, and, you know, you have to, you know, what regions the prices are going to be and all this stuff. There's a whole section in there once you create a listing. So I would probably try to do that. If you haven't done that yet, that's probably the answer, is to create a listing. Like say, okay, I'm going to create an app, because you don't have to upload a file yet. You just create an, you know, when you're in the developer console, you say, okay, I want to create a thing called, you know, Deathworm, whatever, you know, Deathworm Adventures, and you call it Deathworm Adventures. And then it creates a new container, like a new app listing. You're creating an app listing, but it's not published yet. And then you can work on it. Then you can upload your images, you upload your binary, you upload whatever, you know, there's a whole bunch of crap in there. And then inside of the app listing is, I think it's in there. It used to be, I haven't looked. I'd have to log in and look, but I just I haven't even logged into it in a while, because I don't need, crazy, I don't even need to mess with it anymore unless I'm going to update something. Or if they change the policy, sometimes you got to agree to something, like they'll change like some weird, I remember last time, like a couple months ago, they changed this thing where you have to agree if it's designed for children or not. And if you don't agree to it, they'll take your app off the store, you know, so that kind of thing. You basically probably need to just create a listing for it, and then go in there under that listing once it's created. And it's very likely, and I mean, it used to be in there. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I know they made some changes to the Play Store like about a year ago. I mean, to the developer console, but it's kind of the same thing. I mean, it's basically the same. You probably just need to create a listing, honestly, and then you go in and it's under there somewhere. Like you can activate what features you want, like multiplayer or leaderboards, you know, like a point system. You know, there's all kind of, you know, you can have like a coin system and stuff. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with Google Play, but with the SDK. And then I would assume, you know, you would go and there's probably a plugin for it for I mean, you probably already know that, but there's probably a plugin for it for Unreal. I just haven't used it with Unreal. I've done it with Unity.
Inbuilt blueprint functions, which
it's got all the connectors already there for you. It's crazy. You don't even have to do it anymore. Like I used to have to do it all manually, but yeah, you don't even have to do anything anymore with it. You know, with the plugins, like with Unity, it's probably the very similar as the Unity workflow. You know, it's just got a plugin that you put in, and it's a Google Play plugin, and you just need to put in your license keys, and you know, it does it all for you. But yeah, it's in there. You probably need, it's app specific, so you need to create probably an app first. I'm pretty sure that was the process. You have to create a listing, even if you don't upload a file to it. You know, it's not published yet, but to be able to test it, you still need to create a listing, I'm pretty sure. You know, if you're just trying to test it for, you know, testing purposes, I think you still need to do that. That's the first thing I would do, would be to just create a listing for it. And but yeah, I mean, I would double check that. I mean, there's got to be tutorials out there, but I know it's in the app specific features. Hold on a second, let me look real quick.
All of them are literally out of date. They show a completely different to the dashboard as it looks now, because they
developer console, the Play Games SDK, but the leaderboards is like the first. They actually make you do it. It's the first thing you have to do. I think they require that you create leaderboards even if you don't use it. Let's say, is there new documentation understanding leaderboards? Hold on a second. This, you know, the Google documentation is the place.
Already looked over that, and it's outdated.
Is that really? I know they changed it. Creating a leaderboard, yeah.
I've already done that bit.
Yeah, the game details. Yeah, so yeah, see how they have my sample game here? Like you have to create a listing, and then I was gonna say I know it's in there because I've done it before. Yeah, achievements. So I was trying to think of, you know, achievements and leaderboards. I've done all of it. I've used them all before. I've used the multiplayer because they have a free multiplayer platform where you can do peer-to-peer multiplayer back and forth in real time. There's real-time multiplayer and turn-based multiplayer. I've done real-time multiplayer for 2 games using Google Play SDK. But I was just saying, you basically do that and you create a thing, you know, you give it a little icon, you give it properties, and then they give you your little code. Down. And then you can, and then they give you it's basically like a little hash, you know, that you can call back to it, and you would probably paste that into whatever the plugin is. As I say, they may have one specifically for. Yeah, okay. See, this is how I did the actual code. You know, you would put in the methods, you know, you put in your callback methods, displaying a leaderboard. Yeah. So, you know, your leaderboard ID, you know, they give you the ID for it. And that's what the plugin is. You know, I've done all this manually in Java before for my stuff before, you know, I started doing stuff in Unity and all that. I've actually done it manually, so I kind of understand the process, but, you don't have to do all this with the plugins. You know, normally you have to take all these helper methods, and there's tons of them, and it's extremely complicated. I was surprised at how complicated it was, actually. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do to make it work, especially with the whole sign in, the flow of signing in, signing out. Like it's way more than this. Like it's actually really involved, and it took me weeks to get it perfect, to get it right. I remember when I did this years ago. I mean, I think the first time I did this was like 2012, probably. When actually, I think it was 2012 when I actually did this the first time. But you probably don't have to do it anymore. But yeah, basically the idea is they give you like your little number. You gotta probably activate it. You have to enable it per app setting, and then they give you like your little ID, and you probably paste that into whatever the plugin is. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, you know. I haven't messed with it in a while, but I mean, it's probably straightforward. You just need to add it. You need to probably create, if you have, I mean, I'm assuming you have, you know, create a game listing, and then, you know, go into the settings for it. It's probably in there somewhere. Under Google Play Services, I think it's called. You know, it's just, I don't know where they have it in the menu specifically, but I don't know. I may log in later and look. But yeah, it's probably there somewhere. Log in. If I was on the other computer, I'd log into it. I have to get it. Anyway, but yeah, it's in there somewhere. I think it's in the settings for the app itself. Man, look at this freaking euro, man. Euro Kiwi. Gonna take the profit on Euro Kiwi probably. This thing's just killing it today. It's probably gonna go a little more, but whatever. It's 40 pips. I'm taking the 40 pips while it's 40 pips on Euro Kiwi. 40 pips closing. Let's go. Up Euro CAD. I don't care if it goes in. It's probably going to go a little bit more, but it's whatever. It's good enough for me. Absolute destruction today. Well over 100 pips. EuroCAD. This, I mean, it's all on target here. Looking for a consolidation, another range. A higher range, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't come all the way back to this previous range low and just be like an extended range, which is a maybe. But this is actually really tempting to take this long to go again. Very likely going to consolidate again above this and take one more push, because we already know where a likely high is going to be. We're just tagging liquidity above this previous consolidation right here on the way back down. So now we're coming back up to all this, but if this holds, we're now sandwiched between this consolidation right here. It's more of an accumulation. Sandwiched between this and the buy side liquidity above this consolidation. So we're kind of ranging, filling that out. Got people taking profit. This is profit taking right here, but it's still good. Like, actually, It's actually really tempting to just take a stab on that. Why not? I am going to take a stab on it. May not be recommended, but while this is on the low down here, I'm just going to take a stab on it. And if it comes back into the previous range, then I don't want to be in it anymore. I'll give it, let it breathe a little bit, and I'm going to guess that this is going to be another range. And if it comes all the way back down into here, you know, whatever, I'll take a stop. Take a small position just to take it, looking for a high of the day way up here. I'm going to guess that this is going to be another range here. See, maybe. It's a maybe. Yeah, I'm not taking a big position on it though, because there's nothing else to do. It's the only thing that looks like it still has room at Euro Kiwi is just Moon City. Bang, let's go, come on. See that range. Yeah. We'll see. Let's go. Let's go. A little bit more. Got one more run up. Still got another potential move back up to make the peak for the day. Make your high of the day. Just running a mini cycle on the way up. You know, had this extended accumulation overnight, and it's just releasing that profit from the accumulation last night. You know, had this flat accumulation all night, and then it released that profit. Some profit taken here and move it back up. Some profit taking, and everybody stopped selling it. So now as it goes up, you're going to get sellers, and I'm guessing that it's going to go one more round, and that's going to be it for the day. Possible that this is the high of the day, but I'm gambling that it's not because of the consolidation underneath it. You know, just to explain exactly what's going on here. So we'll see. Maybe. You know, small position, not really looking to get wrecked here. I want this to hopefully stay above the middle of this previous consolidation somewhere. Hopefully this goes back up, and if not, then whatever. It was worth a shot. If this actually doesn't go back up and it comes down all the way, that was probably the high of the day, and it may settle back down into here, which is okay. It's worth a shot. This is either the high of the day right here, or it's going up here. There's only two options at this point. This is either the high of the day and we're coming back, or this is going to be a range low where it is now and it's going back up, probably one more run up here. Just kind of taking a gamble on it. Come back to that. Just maybe. Yep, see the dollar squeeze through. So now we broke the high. We're on the way to your projected high of the day up in here somewhere on the dollar. Looking good. Yeah. Looking good. Good day today. Just smooth. It's crazy how different it can be. Yeah, I mean, the dollar is just still bullish. There's just no reason to try to chase it now. It's a little too high. But, you know, the dollar may settle down and break that low one more time. It's probably getting close to the low on something like pound dollar or euro dollar. This looks like it's going to go more. Euro dollar is still bearish. Still bearish. Anyway. We'll watch and see. Oh, let's check it out. See what happens. Oh, I'm tired. Of course. Yeah, it's in the video description, Christian. It's there. Try not to market too much, but yeah. Patreon, if you're interested in that kind of thing, you know, we do a lot more stuff on the other side on Patreon. It's kind of been letting YouTube listen into some of it. We do a lot of stuff in the morning that doesn't go on YouTube, and yeah, just letting YouTube listen in on just some of the price action discussion and stuff like that. But you know, there's a lot of other strategy stuff, and there's some other good traders too. You know, there's some good traders with a very, you know, completely different strategy that are, you know, there's some good traders in there, some professional money managers that don't speak too much, and that kind of thing. There's some really smart people in there. People who actually manage other people's money professionally. I'm not going to dox them. Sometimes we work together. Just saying. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, you know, we got cookies and punch on the other side. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Dollars just bullish, man. Stupid bullish. Yeah, so euro dollar ended up being a good short. I mean, it's still gonna go. I mean, it just looks crazy bearish here. It's just already low. Not a good idea to try to mess with it now. But good game on that. Yeah, it's coming back down. Maybe not on EuroCAD. It's going to be a big range then. If that range doesn't hold, then if that consolidation doesn't hold, it's trying. If for some reason this consolidation doesn't hold, then whatever, I'll get out of it. It was worth a shot. It's probably going to come back to the low of this previous one right here. Come back to the low here and bounce. And this is just going to be a big range. That's the other option. What it looks like it might be happening here is that this is just going to be a bigger range like this. Just going to do this kind of crap. Which is okay. Need to stop. Worth a shot. Close. Stop, hold on. Top of that wick on that doji there. So that's where my actual position is, but alright. Whatever. It's close enough. I just let it breathe a little bit. Just there's still room in it. Just risky the higher it goes. It's not something I normally do, is chase stuff up like that, but it looks good. Pound yen, man, that thing is crazy low. Took that whole pump back, took the whole thing down. It's Friday, you know, you don't want to get into too much right now on a Friday. You know, it's later in the morning on Friday. We'll see what happens. We got the equities market opening. Yeah, yep, only $25 a month. It's less than $1 a day. Yep. It's not really about the money. Could I charge more? Of course. But, you know, it's not what it's about. Don't need to. Yep. The whole point is, the whole idea is to make it affordable enough and accessible to everyone. So, you know, people can learn other ways of looking at things without, you know, spending $150 a month on on mentorship, because that's what a lot of people do. Actually, I'm not going to get into it, but there's another trading group out there that basically stole everything I'm doing, and they charge $3,400 a year. So it's like $200 something a month, high 200s. $3,400 a year is what they were charging to teach my exact method. Exactly. It was frustrating. I'm not going to say who, but I don't know how they're doing or not, but that was frustrating. So then that's what I took some of my code, started making their own thing, and then there's another channel who was a former student who started putting out videos about stuff that I'm doing, trying to start his own thing. Yeah, I mean, it's just what people do, it's I understand it. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't, there's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah. But yeah, it's not like, I don't know, it is what it is. The only thing you can do is just be better. But yeah, that's kind of the reason why I started doing this in the first place. Is because if they're going to do that, then I might as well do it too. And make it the most possible, most affordable thing that you can do. But yeah, anyway, I'm not huge on marketing, but if you're interested in something like that, you can come check it out if you want to. It's on Patreon, and the links in the description. Just got Zoom. We get new private Zoom sessions. Basically, it's always on, but we're always there in London and New York. We do stuff in the morning, and we've been doing it the whole time. When I wasn't on YouTube for a while. It's just the last couple weeks. Last 2 weeks we've been doing a little more YouTube sessions just to be a little more public. I was neglecting YouTube for a little bit, and but yeah, we're always there. They do a bunch of stuff. And again, there's other good traders in there too, but we just there's a lot of things that go on the other side that it's just, I don't know, it's just different. You guys get to listen in on some of the price action discussion and stuff like, there's nothing super secret about that. But, there are some other things that don't go on YouTube. There's just some things that definitely help you, especially in the understanding what's happening. There are a few very key things that can change everything, change your trading. And you can apply these concepts to your own, your own type of, way of doing things. Just, it is what it is, whatever. But yeah, anyway, enough about that. Yeah. I like to under promise and over deliver. It's intentionally affordable. I know people that charge, $50 a month for a signal service on Telegram, It's intentionally affordable. And it's much, much more than a signal service. I try to make it that way. And there's some other stuff we're working on. Like I need to get back to working on software, got trading bots and stuff, turning my trading, type of trading strategy into an automated system. And that's something that's available to the group. I'm still in testing right now, but I'm working on that kind of stuff too. So yeah, anyway, enough about that. Not marketing yet. Pound yen's really interesting here. It's really low. It's just late. Problem is it's late on a Friday. 9:30. We got 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. We'll see what's going on with the equities market. We'll watch the S&P here. See what happens on the open. See how the market digests this Biden news. Got some bombshell news last night. Raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour and $400 unemployment. Like that is a bombshell to the economy. To raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour overnight. That is an absolute nuclear warhead to the economy. So we'll watch and see what's going on with that. See how the market digests that. It dumped overnight. So maybe they didn't like it, but we'll see what happens. S&P's been relatively quiet today. Again, it's just been in a range and hasn't really done a lot. Yeah, they just announced it officially last night that Biden's going to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and that's good if you're in that class of workers, but it's crushing. It is a crushing blow to small businesses. it's almost certainly bad for the economy. I don't see how it's good for the economy because of the effects. Everybody says, oh, well, people have more money to spend. No, they're not, because businesses are going to cut people. They're going to lay people off and raise the prices of goods and services to be able to pay for it. Businesses can't pay for it. Businesses are already in trouble. So if a business can't afford to keep an employee on at 40% more pay than they were paying them, then they're either going to fire that employee or raise their prices by 40%. And if they raise their prices by 40%, then they're no longer competitive in the market, because these big companies like Amazon and Walmart can afford to operate on razor thin margins, and they can afford to take much less profit because they know they're doing the volume to make up for it. They're doing more transactions, so much less profit, and it's going to absolutely crush business. Smaller businesses won't be able to be competitive anymore, and they're going to have to fire people. So people think it's great. Oh, sweet. We're getting double, the minimum wage is going to double overnight. That's great and all, but you might not have a job, because the business is not going to be able to afford to pay you anymore. There may be some real serious problems there. So, we'll have to see, and it's not political. Like, it has nothing to do with politics. It's common sense. It's economics. Like, it has nothing to do with politics. I personally think that's a very bad idea. We'll see what happens with it, but I have a feeling that they didn't really think that out very well, that they didn't think that through on what might happen. If they raise the minimum wage overnight, nationally to $15 an hour, because it's going to unfairly put pressure on business owners in some parts of the country and not others. And the parts of the country it's going to put pressure on tend to be like anything that's not in a city where the cost of living is lower. So that tends to be more conservative areas and business owners. So it's like an indirect attack on the other side, while at the same time trying to declare, peace and unity. And it's just, I disagree with it. I disagree with it as a tactic. I disagree with it just all the way around. I think it's a terrible, I think it's a really big mistake. I think they're going to make a huge mistake because they're going to hurt business owners, and business owners are going to fire a bunch of people, and the cost of goods and services is going to go up to make up for the cost. And you also run the risk of automation taking people's jobs and businesses leaving the country and going somewhere else. It's really not good, and I don't understand why they can't come up with a better solution than to just flat across the board, just make it a certain number, like an arbitrary number at $15. It's like they didn't think about it. It's like they just didn't think about this, and say, wait a minute, how's that going to affect parts of the country, that aren't California and New York? What about the rest of the country where the cost of living's lower? It's going to crush businesses where the cost of living's lower, because it's, now all of a sudden these companies, the employers are going to have to pay their employees, literally 30 to 40% more overnight, and they're not going to be able to handle that burden. They're not going to be able to do that. The profit margins might not be that. They might already be struggling, and then now all of a sudden by law they're required to pay people 40% more. They're going to fire people immediately. There's going to be millions of job losses immediately, or it's going to be a mix of both. The cost, the CPI, basically. That's basically what CPI is, if you think about it. Consumer pricing index. You'll see it in the CPI. If you think about it, I guarantee you'll see the change in the CPI. You'll see a change in the cost of goods and services in different parts of the country, because most businesses are just not going to be able to absorb that risk, because they may not be doing the same volume as something like Walmart or Amazon. They may not be able to absorb that cost and still be competitive in the market. They're going to have to raise their prices or fire people. And if they raise their prices, they're no longer competitive in the market. And if they fire people, people don't have jobs, and it doesn't matter anyway. And also they don't have employees, so they can't run their business. It's a crushing blow to business owners. And it just is, period. You know, and it's like they didn't really think that through. So we'll see. That's a big deal. It's a huge announcement to announce that because of what it means. It seems like it's not a big deal, but what the effects will be because of it are huge. Yeah, it's one thing to say, yeah, of course, you know, people should be getting minimum, you know, people should be paid more, of course. You know, of course you want people to be paid more. But think about it from the perspective of the business owner. And sometimes, you know, asking for a little too much can get you nothing. And that's definitely a possibility here. That's partially what the argument is that if they ask for just a little too much, they might get nothing, get no job, might not have a job to make $15 an hour, you know, because your boss can't afford to pay you anymore. So you get fired. And now what you got no job, and the price of everything goes up. So what do? You sit at home on $400 a week unemployment. They just raise the unemployment. So they've incentivized people to stay home and not go to work. Is absolutely mind-boggling if you think about it. They raised the minimum wage, which is going to cause people to lose their jobs and things to get more expensive. And at the same time, they've incentivized people to not go to work by raising the unemployment to $400 a week. So you make $1,600 a month to sit at home and do nothing, fill out some paperwork every week. Instead of going to work and being a productive member of society, you're incentivized to stay home. And who suffers? The business owner suffers. Who benefits? The government benefits from higher wages, more income tax. The worker, it's a net neutral, really, in a way. They're probably going to lose their job and have to pay more on things. But even if they keep their job, they make more money, but they still have to pay more because the prices of stuff goes up. Because businesses have to offset that cost somehow. They can't just magically reach into their bottom line and say, okay, here, you take more of my profit. Like, I don't understand what they're doing. They're punishing business owners. They're punishing business owners. And on top of that, they're taxing the wealthy more, which are the business owners. There's like an all-out assault on business owners right now. And I don't understand what they're doing. It's not political. There's something going on. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know why they want to do that. It's a terrible idea. Yeah, exactly. You know, like Nathaniel's talking about. Yeah. Yeah. It'll make you think twice about hiring people. You know, you're gonna have to, you know, it's just right. And that's the thing is
the attempt at communism sneaking in.
It makes you wonder. You're just going to wipe everybody's jobs out and say, okay, we'll save you.
Put the law in the States, right? Everybody has to make per day what Elon Musk makes in a day.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, why don't we just give everybody $1 million and call it a day? Like, let's just, you know, let's just give everybody, instead of that, let's just give everybody $1 million, declare nobody needs to work, and let's see what happens. Hunger Games. Let's just scratch the whole idea. Let's just why not just give everybody $1 million? Let's just airdrop a helicopter $1 million into everybody's bank account. You know, yeah. But if you think about it, it's crazy. Like if you really think about it that way, and then what happens? You know, like we were talking about this morning, if you're currently making $15 an hour and you're a higher skill level employee than a minimum wage worker, and you should be being paid more, but that's your current pay rate, what happens to them? What happens to the people? Okay, if they raise the minimum wage, what about the people that in the pay grade that's just above them? You know what I mean? So now think about it from a business owner's perspective. Not only do you have to pay the minimum wage workers more, but what if you have 2 or 3 tiers of workers just above that are making $14, $15 an hour, and then they go and say, wait a minute, you know, if the cleaning lady's all of a sudden going to be making, you know, you've got the cleaning lady coming in to clean the office, and then the entry level IT guy who's making $15 an hour. Now he's going to go and say, wait a minute, why are you paying me the same as the cleaning lady? I need more money. And then the boss is going to have to pay them more, or the employer is going to have to pay them more. So everybody's pay is going to have to be raised. Now, how are we going to pay for that? How's a business supposed to absorb that cost? It's like they did not think about this ahead of time. Like, I'm not an economist. I'm not anything like that. I mean, but I can see the problem here. Like how did they not think about this? Like, you know, I don't understand it. You know, what happens to the tiers of employers employees just above them? Say you've got a more valuable employee who makes a little bit more than minimum wage at $15 an hour. So now they need more money. Now they need more money.
They have thought about it, and it's all part of some plan to move us towards universal basic income.
I mean, maybe, you know, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You know, just give everybody $1 million and just call it a day. Like, and exactly, inflation. That's the thing. You know, so the three main detriments here. What are the problems here? If this happens, you're going to get inflation. You're going to, you know, the dollar's going to get smoked for one thing. They're going to have to keep printing money. They're already, because of all the crazy stuff that's going on anyway. But aside from that, you know, the cost of goods and services is going to have to raise. But it's going to have to go up because businesses can't absorb that big of a percentage in payroll. So they're going to have to, you know, raise the cost of goods and services. And then you're going to have, and it's going to be a mixture of all these things. You're going to be a mixture of that and also layoffs. They're going to say, look, if I've got 9 employees, I could probably do without 3 of them. And if I have to pay the other 6 employees 40% more, I'm going to give them 40% more job tasks, and I'm going to delegate the job tasks for those other 3 employees I just fired out to the 6 that I'm going to keep. If I have to pay them more, I'm going to make them work the other 3 people I'm going to lay off's job. I'm going to make them work more. So people are going to work harder to get more money, but the prices of goods and services also going to go up. So it's a net neutral, like it's a zero-sum game. Yes, you may have more income, but you're going to be paying more for things. Your apartment rent's going to go up. You know, the grocery bill is going to go up. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like the manager at your apartment, you know, say you got an apartment, you know, whatever, the maintenance guy and the office workers, they're all going to need more money. They're going to have to pay them more. So they're going to have to raise your rent. So your rent's going to go up. Like, think about this. Like, it is absolutely asinine. Like, it doesn't make sense. I understand that people, you know, it would be great for people to get more money, but to just declare this overnight, that big of a hike, and just across the board without taking geographics, cost of living, without taking cost of living into consideration, I just feel like they didn't think this through. You know, they're just saying flat rate across the board, $15 an hour. They're not taking any cost of living in under any consideration at all. You know, and then, you know, you got the secondary and tertiary problems of what about employees that are just above minimum wage? They have a skill level above minimum wage. Now they're going to need more money. So you have to pay them more to keep them. And then what happens? You know, what's the alternative? They go sit at home and say, look, you know, if my employer, I went to my employer and said, I need more money. And the employer says, I'm sorry, I can't afford it. You know, we're just not doing enough business right now because of COVID. And now we have to pay you more too. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to, you know, lay you off. We're going to have to be furloughed for a while. So then what happens? They go home and collect more unemployment. And they go home and say, wait a minute. I mean, with stimulus, you know, I'm making $2,000 a month in unemployment. Why would I go back to work? You know, you know, some people can live on that, is what I'm saying. In some parts of the country, you know, that's you see the problem here, that you're incentivizing people to stay home. You're killing jobs and incentivizing people to stay home. You're causing businesses to leave and go out of business. I don't see any positives. I can't see a positive other than maybe.
The thing is,
it depends. It depends on where you live, though.
Wanted to stay home and get given money by the magic money tree government, then you would actively advocate for this to happen.
Sure, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, if you wanted to stay home, sure, of course, let's go for it. You know, raise the minimum wage. You know, so you're either going to make more money or get to sit at home. Yeah, but think about it. I know here in Florida, like at least in a lot of places in the country, if they're raising it to $400 a week and it's $1,600 a month for unemployment, that's more. Might be more than minimum wage. That might be more than minimum wage in a lot of parts of the country. So you would actually make more money to sit at home. That's more than current minimum wage. So let me get this straight. I got a choice of making a little more income or sitting home and making the same amount of money I'm making right now. Think about it. That's what they're doing.
Even they did do that, BB. They're gonna have 4 employees. That's it. It was 4.
And that's what I'm saying. They're gonna lay everybody off and work. The people that they keep are gonna have to work harder because they're being paid more, and their boss is gonna demand more out of them to keep the business going. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just looking at, what might happen. And it's not political. It has nothing to do with politics. It's just the issues. Like, thinking about what might happen. Okay, so say, and again, I use the example, like, say you own a business, like, actually think about it. Say, wait a minute, okay, imagine that you have a pizza place, a pizza parlor somewhere, and you have 8 employees, and they're all minimum wage workers. You got 2 drivers, you got 4 people that actually make the pizzas, you got a cashier and a cleanup person. You have 8 employees and they're all minimum wage workers. Now, what if your profit margins aren't more than 40% and all of a sudden you have to pay them 40% more or 30%, whatever it is, 30, 40% in a lot of places it's going to be. So you have 8 employees that are minimum wage now, and all of a sudden you're going to have to raise their payroll by 40%. How are you going to absorb that cost? Think about it. How are you going to absorb that? Right now, what if you're barely making, what if you're already taking a loss on your business? You got other bills, you got electric bill and, rent for your business, corporate, real estate rent and your website costs and whatever, all the stuff that comes with the business, insurance. You got to insure all those employees. Think about that. Like, what if you're already so close to the margins that 30 or 40% raise is going to put you over and you're no longer going to be a profitable business anymore? What are you going to do? You know how many businesses right now are asking themselves that after that last night? Everybody's asking that. Business owners are like, what am I going to do? Even if you have some employees that are minimum wage and some that aren't, that's still a problem. Because, again, if you raise that level of minimum wage, then you're also raising it for everyone else, because now everybody else is going to say, wait a minute, why do they get a 30% raise and I don't? I'm making $15 an hour now, and you're going to raise the cleaning lady's cost, paid at $15 an hour. Why? I need more money too. So it's just, it piles on, it dog piles up for the business owner, and it's not going to be profitable to run a business in this country anymore. Think about it. It's a really crazy thing. It has nothing to do with politics. Like, it's just like, think about the actual outcome of this. It's not going to be profitable to be a business owner. It's too much. They're going to have to fire people or cut people's hours down so much that you're going to get 2 hours a week or something. They'll give you 3 or 4 hours a week, working, because they can't afford to pay you. They'll try to cut as much as they can. Yeah. Have a good one, Nathaniel. Yep. They'll cut as much as they can, just to try to keep the business going. And then what it's going to do is it's going to consolidate power and market share into the hands of the big companies. It's not conspiracy theory. Like, this is just how it works. Like, it's going to consolidate all of that market share into the Walmarts and the Amazons of the world, because they can absorb that cost with smaller margins. They can absorb that because they can operate on much smaller profit margins, because they're doing much more business. They're doing more turnover and more volume, so they can absorb that. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I'm having trouble finding a positive with it, even though it's great and it sounds awesome, especially if you're in that class of worker. I get it. Like, I totally understand. Of course, I mean, it's awesome. Of course you want to make more money. Everybody wants people to make more money. That's not it. That's not what I'm saying. It's how, I think the question is always, how do we pay for it? You're putting all of that burden on the business owner, and you're going to tax them more at the same time. Businesses are going to leave this country in droves. They're going to leave or quit and do something else. That pizza place isn't going to be there anymore because they can't afford to have enough employees to be competitive. They're not going to be competitive in the market anymore. The mom and pop pizza shop isn't going to be competitive with the big chain that can afford, to do it, because they have 500 stores, and they're doing enough volume and business to be able to take razor thin profit margins and still survive. It's going to consolidate market share to the larger companies who can afford it. It's nuts. People are going to lose their jobs. There's going to be a tidal wave of automation that's going to take people's jobs. Again, we talked about, the food franchise. Why have, 10 teenagers and picking their nose and flipping your burgers when you could have one robotic arm and a computer guy do it? If you got to pay everybody more, you might as well just make a one-time investment on a robotic arm and AI at the drive-through window, or an app to order your food, and then a robotic arm makes it. It's cleaner, more efficient, it's faster, never makes a mistake, it's never late for work. It doesn't, there's no insurance risk. You have one robotic arm at McDonald's and a computer guy, instead of 10 teenagers picking their nose and making your chicken nuggets. Think about it. It would be better for the business owner to do that. And what's better for the business owner is the thing that's going to happen. What's more profitable or more efficient? If it just becomes too much for a company like that to employ people, if it's just too expensive, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go to automation. You're going to lose your jobs to a robotic arm because of a policy change. And that's the thing, there's got to be, that's, maybe it's just heading that way. Maybe it's inevitable. Maybe it's inevitable. Maybe it's inevitable. Well, that's, what happens when people who need jobs, well, maybe there won't be jobs is what I'm saying, because the businesses won't be able to afford to pay their employees. They won't be able to, just imagine, just as a thought experiment, imagine that you own a landscaping business and you have, some people who mow lawns, and you pay them currently what minimum wage is, and you only make 10% profit in your landscaping business. You have a 10% profit margin, just as an example, whatever. After you have to buy lawnmowers and, buy lunch for your crew or whatever it is, buy equipment and, pay your secretary to do your books and all this stuff, whatever. Say you have a 10% profit margin. What do you do if the law says that you're required to pay your employees 40% more right now? Starting next month, you're required to pay your employees 40% more than they were making right now. What do you do? That's the thing. It's not right-wing anything. It's not political. I don't know if you've been around this channel enough. You've seen that I'm a life and liberty kind of guy. I make fun of Donald Trump more than anything. I'm not right-wing at all. It's not. It's logic. Companies are underpaying workers. Okay, yeah. But that's kind of what I'm saying. Do you think it's fair to put that burden on small businesses right now? I'm not talking about the Walmarts and the Amazons of the world underpaying workers. I'm talking about mom and pop. I'm saying, think about it. It's not right-wing theory, bro. That's not right-wing theory. You've fallen into a trap. I'm sorry that you've fallen into a trap through the media, through the right-wing and left-wing media. No, you've fallen into a trap there, and it's not political. That's the whole thing I'm saying. I'm saying from a business owner's perspective, think about it. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's a slippery slope is what I'm saying. If you've been around the channel long enough, you'd know that I'm far from right wing. Do a lot of making fun of right wing nut jobs. I'm a realist. I don't do politics. I'm a realist. But it's just logical. It's logic to me. I understand, of course, you want people to make more money. What I'm saying is how do you absorb that cost? You're saying that companies underpay workers and they should be punished? That doesn't make sense. So, but what companies is the whole point I'm saying. Which companies? That's the whole thing. You know, which companies? You know, say you own a, you know, that's what I'm saying. I'm just using real world examples. I'm asking, you know, what do you do? How do you solve it? What do you think the outcome's going to be? What do you think the outcome's going to be? If you're going to put all of that burden on business owners right here in a pandemic, think about it. It's just logic. It has nothing to do with politics. That's why I preface that. It has absolutely nothing to do with politics. Give back the money. Whose money though? That's the thing. You know, if you're going to raise taxes and pay people more, and the cost of goods and services goes up, and people lose their jobs because businesses can't afford to keep them employed, is what I'm saying. Like, when you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a catch-22. Like, it's not. It has nothing to do with politics. It's a catch-22. How do you pay for it? Is the question. Social programs are that's great. We have a lot of social programs that are successful. Some that aren't, but you know, that's great. But the question is always, how do you pay for it? Who takes the hit? So basically your logic is that businesses already make money, so they should take less profit. You know, businesses should pay people more because they underpay. You just, as a blanket statement without any logic, you know, you just say that businesses pay people too little. They don't pay people enough, so they should just pay people more. And they should take less profit. That's what the whole point I'm saying is, what if you're not within the profit margins? And using a blanket statement like that, and even that, you know, you're just saying $15 an hour everywhere. That doesn't make sense. Like, it's not smart. It's not. That's not an intelligent thing. You know, it's not an intelligent approach even to say that, you know, $15 is the same in California as it is in rural Oklahoma. You know, the cost of living means everything as far as that's concerned. You know, and especially in the places with the lower cost of living, it's going to absolutely punish businesses because they're going to have to pay a higher percentage. You know, and that's kind of the thing, is whose money, where does the money come from? Is that an indirect distribution of wealth from the business owner to the employee? And is that what you're advocating by saying, you know, you need to pay people more? You know, I mean, you know, just, you know, it's not combative. It's just, you know, your argument was that businesses need to pay people more because they underpay their employees. I mean, is that just a blanket statement? Like, all 100% of businesses underpay their employees? Like, does that even make sense? I mean, you know, you accuse me of right-wing rhetoric, but all I see is some very hard left rhetoric coming out of you. So greedy capitalism, you know, blah blah blah. You know, this isn't political. Is what I'm saying. You know, I understand that there are some runaway capitalism problems, but that's the whole point that I'm saying is you're not punishing the Amazons and the Walmarts of the world. You're punishing the mom and pop people who are working hard to provide jobs for their communities. That's the whole point that I'm saying. Think about it. Just think about it is all I'm asking. Right, it's capitalism. Yeah, it's a capitalist nation. Yeah, that's why we're the number one nation in the world, let's be honest. I mean, that's why we have them. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Like, it's, yeah, I mean, I'm, you know, not to sugarcoat, just not sugarcoating. I don't mean like, I shouldn't say that, you know, because of course there are problems. And if you've been around the channel long enough, you know that I'm very vocal about the problems that we have. But what I'm saying, all I'm saying is think about it. Just think about it. Just imagine yourself as a business owner, and not from a political pundit's perspective, and not trying to argue a political point. I'm saying just realistically. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. Here, let me. I'll send you an email here. Yeah, welcome to the other side. Yeah, and again, it's not political. That's the whole thing I'm trying to say, is it has nothing to do with politics. Has nothing to do with politics. I'm actually totally fine with Biden being in office. There are two things that I don't agree with. I don't agree with his firearms policy, and I don't agree with what he's doing here with the $15 an hour thing. Other than that, I don't really care. He's better than Trump. I think he's better for the nation. I think he's better than having, you know, the uncertainty, but yeah, it's just a personal thing. But, you know, it has nothing to do with politics. I don't subscribe to either party, you know, so I have the luxury of being able to say things like that. I pick at everybody equally. This is an equal opportunity ridicule zone for the president. But yeah, it has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with left wing or right wing, anything like that. I think people get trapped into arguing, just arguing everything, just turning everything into a political argument, and it has nothing to do with that. You know, it's just from a about to get stopped down on EuroCAD. All right, EuroCAD took out. I had a little position on there. It went up and then went back down. Just snapped out. So anyway, it was worth a shot. But yeah, it has nothing to do with politics at all. It's damn, there he goes to stop. Man, look at the dollar. Dollar's flying. But yeah, it has nothing to do with politics at all. Zero. It's logic. You know, let's think about the possible effects here of what could happen. Yeah.
It often gets correlated with politics. You know that
because it's a political issue. It's being politicized. Yeah, it's being politicized as an issue. That's kind of the problem that's going on in this country right now. Is you have two competing ideologies, and they couldn't be more extreme, polar opposites of each other. Everybody always has to take an extreme end, and you know that's the thing. You know, I think logic sometimes gets thrown out the window because people end up going to one of the extreme sides and only, you know, thinking along party lines. You know, not only voting but thinking along party lines. You know, it's just you know, we're just having a thought experiment here of what might happen from a business owner's perspective. Of course, everybody wants people to make more money. Of course, yeah, it's a great thing, especially if you're in that class of workers. It's a great thing. That's not what you know. Very clear about that.
It's not a great thing if you are invested in trying to change the underlying system, because
when that's kind of the point I'm making is
good, people don't want to change because they want more of the same. So you want to make things worse so that you can offer a solution.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the thing is yeah, it's just maybe it makes things worse. And I don't think that they've thought this through by making it a flat $15 an hour without taking into consideration at all cost of living, for one thing, and how damaging it could be. You know, what are the side effects of, you know, businesses having to take on that burden all of a sudden? You know, just what happened? You know, what if? You know, all I'm saying is just, if you haven't yet done that, you know, put yourself in the perspective of a business owner. And what if you had, that's why I use specific examples. What if you had a pizza parlor, whatever, some business, and you have 8 employees that are minimum wage workers? What if you were the business owner and I said to you that you don't pay your employees enough and you should pay them more? Think about that argument. Yeah, I'm just saying, think about that argument as an argument itself. Like, what if you were a business owner that had 5 or 6 employees that make minimum wage? Or what if it makes just above minimum wage? You know, what if they make, you know, $12 an hour right now, and then they've raised the minimum wage? Now all your employees are going to come to you and say, hey, wait a minute, you know, I want a 30% raise too. If everybody else is, you know, you're paying me less than minimum wage. Yeah, I was making more than minimum wage. What if you're in the middle between minimum wage and the $15 mark? What about all those employees that are in the middle? Now they're going to go to their boss and say, hey, wait a minute, I need more money. I need to make at least 15, because 15 is now minimum wage. I need $17 an hour. And there's going to be a wave of millions of people who are going to lose their jobs.
The only fair system is one in which you don't even have the concept of money. You just have a percentage. You go to work and it tops up to 100%, which you can spend for the day, and then you have to go back to work to replenish it for the day.
Yeah, I mean, Who knows,
completely
man?
sci-fi out there.
I was gonna say
Breaks
it sounds like
everything. Everybody
some
is equal. I have achieved
dystopian
pure
near
communism.
future.
Thank you very much. You're
So
welcome.
it sounds probably close to what might be coming. Yeah, it's just that, you know, it has nothing to do with politics or you know, Biden specifically. It has nothing. It literally has nothing to do with politics. But it's just, think about it from a business owner's perspective, and this is not only going to affect, you know, people who would identify as right wing either. There's going to be a lot of liberal business owners out there who are crapping their pants right now. You know,
The problem with the system that I've just described
Republicans
is
aren't the only business owners out there. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, think about it from a business owner's perspective. Period. Just from a business owner, not political, but a business owner's perspective. What happens? You know, actually think about it. What happens if you have those employees and all of a sudden you have to pay them, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40% more, depending on where you live. And that's the problem, is depending on what your local cost of living is. It might be very different in Wyoming than it is in LA, California. Two very different costs of living. You know, and that's the point that I'm making, is it unfairly punishes people in some parts of the country and not others. And it's not a political argument. It's just logic. You know, and that's
system is the only system, BB.
You know, it's just it's an interesting thought experiment there. It's something worth talking about, you know, because it's a big thing that happened. It's a huge thing that happened last night. That is a big statement to come out and say that you're gonna mandate a minimum wage hike that's that much higher. Minimum wage always expands. It always goes up. But it's like, in some areas, it's going to more than double overnight, and that is a massive blow to business owners. You know, it's just an interesting conversation to have. It's an interesting thought experiment. No matter where you lie on the political spectrum, it doesn't matter. Because it's really not political. No matter where you are on the political spectrum, just think about it from a business owner's perspective. You know, if you have some company, a web design company, anything, whatever, you know, any kind of company, you know, any kind of company, and you have even a mix of some minimum wage employees and some aren't. Or what if you have all minimum wage employees? You know, it's even more complicated if you have, you know, some that aren't. You know, you have some minimum wage employees and then some that are just above minimum wage that make a little bit more because they're a little bit more a higher skilled worker, you know, whatever. You know that's just a reality of business. You know, that's just how it works in the workforce. You know, some people make more money than others, and there are many different levels. There are different different pay grades of workers. And what if you're just above or in between the current minimum wage and the $15 number? It makes it complicated, and it puts a huge burden on business owners, is what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but it's going to be popcorn, I promise. There is almost certainly going to be job losses and a rise in prices at the same time. I mean, it's not, I don't see any way around it. Like, it's not, I don't think it's even an opinion. I think it's a certainty. It's a mathematical certainty, you know, because there are going to be a large percentage of businesses who just aren't going to be able to absorb that cost, you know, like a larger company would. You know, some of those companies that don't take care of their employees very well, like Walmart and Amazon, those are the guys that are going to win, is what I'm saying. That's the whole point that I'm saying. You know, and that's the thing. We'll, who knows? Who knows?
Bit of a joke, really.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's interesting. It's crazy to think about. Yeah, I would pay very close attention to that. You know, especially like Russell 2000 companies and, you know, any small caps and stuff like that, or any, you know, even like grocery stores and stuff. You know, think about like the pay grade of workers in like a grocery store, and what's about to happen to their payroll output is going to have to be, you know, 30-40% more depending on where they live in the country. Some, it's not going to affect them that much, and then others, it's going to be a massive change, huge change, depending on the cost of living in that geographical area. Yeah, take it easy. Yeah, I'll see you on the other side. I'm actually taking care of that right now. Yep. You know, so it's just one of those things. it's an interesting conversation. It's kind of a hot button issue because it shouldn't be politicized, but it's kind of it's being politicized right now because, political leaders take sides with these. They use these issues to take sides. So, that's kind of the thing. Is just politics aside, the actual mechanics of what might happen to the economy. Like there may be some effects that people aren't ready for. Freaking dollar's dead. Just out of the world. It's not dead, but Eurodollar's dead. That's what I'm looking at.
You got GA bumping. Look at GA.
Crazy, man.
Look at this GA. Crazy.
Should have taken that. It's all right. Did okay today. Did good today. Just kind of taking it easy. Yeah, man. The freaking dollar. So anyway, it's just as a thought experiment. It's something that, just looking at it from another perspective might be worth considering what it's like for a business owner and what might be coming and whether or not that business owner is going to be able to afford to keep you on staff anymore. Might just lose your job. So just saying, if people ask too much sometimes, they might get nothing. It's kind of the whole point that I'm making. I think it's a little bit too extreme of a move is what I'm saying. Anyway, let me take care of this. Let me do something real quick and be right back. 1 minute. And we'll watch continue to watch the dollar for moon water. God. I mean, it's just parabolic on a high right now. There's no reason to try to take a position on it now. You're in that zone where it's no longer favorable to be long dollar. Anyway, give me 1 minute. Be right back.
I'm happy I stayed in Cassia, Trev, from the top. Damn. I'm confused on where this came from. There's no news. That makes any sense.
Ready. Let's get back. We'll get off the hot button issue, but it's a big deal. It actually matters to what we're doing here. It has a direct effect on, investing and the markets as a whole, because all these companies in the S&P 500 and the Russell 2000 especially, and you know, even the big companies, they got a lot of minimum wage workers, and their profits are about to get slashed by a percentage. Think about that. Think about what's probably coming, what's very likely going to be coming. They're going to take a huge hit in profits. And earnings are about to go through the floor. Because instead of profit, it's going to go to paying, you know, employees more, which is a good thing, depending on the business, depending on where the business operates and where their employees live. You know, it's just, it has a direct effect on what we're doing, and I'm not sure that it's a good thing. I can see some very negative things coming out of it. I can't see any positives really that are really positive. You know, the argument of saying people are going to have more money to spend isn't valid if the cost of goods and services go up and people lose their jobs because businesses can't afford to pay them anymore. So what happens? People go home and collect $1,600 a month in unemployment with no incentive to go back to work. It's not politics. It's what it is. Like, it's just has nothing to do with politics, really. It's just the mechanics of how that is going to go down. So we'll see we'll see how it affects companies. It's a big deal because that's a big piece of information because of how dramatic the change is. It's a very big change to some parts of the country. You know. But anyway, it wasn't meant to be divisive or anything. You know, we're just talking about the reality of what could happen. Sometimes it's good to hear the voice of opposition. Yeah, I was just gonna say there's some people getting triggered on YouTube.
Oh my God!
Saying it's a you know, it's kind of like it's not a right wing. It has nothing to do with right wing. People who know me know
this is not politics, man.
Yeah,
this is real life.
Politics. Yeah. People know me, know very differently. They know better than that. But yeah, it's just, you know, just having a logic discussion of what, you know, cause and effect. It's more of a cause and effect discussion. What might happen? Let's just look at what's possible. What might happen? You know, realistically, and
we already know we've got.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. I think we already figured it out. You know,
in multiple different countries.
Yeah, EuroCAD's actually yeah, EuroCAD is bumping. But yeah, you know, it's not, I don't know. It's just, it looks like it's not going to be a good thing. We'll get off of it, but it's something to pay attention to. It's not political, you know, but liberals own businesses too. That's all I have to say, you know. But yeah, EuroCAD's still bumping. It's still good. I'm watching it. The dollar is absolutely flying. It's the CAD. The Canadian dollar is really weak today. It's turned out to be, yeah, it's pretty weak. Yep, it's the second weakest currency. You know, the CAD just rolled over hard. The CAD and the Kiwi both. So Euro Kiwi and Euro CAD ended up being the moon water today. Yep. Euro Kiwi pushed again. It's crazy. I got out of it, but it pushed. Yeah, so, you know, see all the difference, though. You see the... Yep. Yeah, you see the difference in price action, though, today? Like, the difference in movement starting early, like right out of London. Stuff just went. You know, it's just stuff just moved. And it didn't come back in the range and chop all day and go nowhere. You know, it's just, you know, it didn't come back and do this. Like yesterday was this kind of crap. You know, and today, you know, you get very clean price action. It's just very different price action. It's like night and day. It's bipolar markets, I'm telling you. You know, so we had 2 out of 3 days this week were good. Wednesday and Friday. The Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday were crap. You know, it's how it is sometimes. But yeah, it's hard to know which days are going to be good. You know, it depends. You know, it depends on price action, but yeah. Interesting. Yeah, pound dollar ended up being good. Tried to take it twice. I got stopped out at break even and then took a small profit. Probably should have kept it. Would have been nice to keep it, but it's in short there. Would have been a huge day if I would have just left that. I got scared out of it because I had a big size on. Not big, but percentage wise for the account, it was enough. Yeah, Euro Kiwi all the way up. All the way up. What the heck,
Where
man?
did this come from anyway? There's no news or nothing.
Just
I don't get it.
because nothing happened all week and it all happened today. That's basically what happened. We
So
had
this is Thursday.
a bunch of consolidation. We had a whole bunch of consolidation. Got a release of it today. Just released all the profit.
The Thursday moves.
Sometimes it's like that. You get crap. You get garbage days, and then other days everything just goes. And sometimes it's hard to know early in the morning, or if we're going to get a crap day or a good day. So you got to take the risk on it. You at least got to take the risk, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't play out. It's just like yesterday was just garbage. You just got chop all day. You look at GJ yesterday, just chop, range flat all day, nothing. Just getting both people, knocking everybody out on both sides, and then what happened today? Just boom, straight down. Just big trending move. So it's hard to know at 3 o'clock in the morning when London starts what we're going to get. So you got to take the risk on it. You at least got to give it a shot. And then, we know, it's just like thing, when we start to leave the range like that, we've got targets on the downside. Everything ran more than it should have today, because we've just spent a couple of days doing nothing. Got all these big moves that happen. So it was a good day. We just caught some of it, still stayed safe, and, caught some of it. Got in and out a couple times. Euro Aussie, man. All these Euro pairs. It's so crazy because I had this last night. Euro Aussie, and it's kind of a bummer because this would have never gotten stopped out. It's like right at 4 or 5 o'clock yesterday. Man, I had that whole move, and I was gonna leave it on, and I didn't. I closed it and just took the profit. I took the scalp out. I was gonna leave it on and just go to bed. And if I would have done that, it wouldn't have gotten stopped out. It's crazy to see it now. It's just a good lesson. Same thing with EuroCAD. I had it in here long, and I took the scalp on it, and it would have never gotten stopped out. It would have gone and never come back. Had a larger size on too. It would have been, gosh, would have been perfect. Euro yen, Rex. Yeah. So got some big full candles down here too to close. Like some of these Euro pairs might be good next week. Might be really good next week. EuroCAD kind of came back. It's back up on top. Thing just won't die. It's not a short. EuroCAD's way too low to be a short. It just ended up being in an extended range. And it's just back on the high. It's probably going to poke up and make a high. It's still on the way up. Just, it's not really a good risk to try to take it now. Yeah, I don't know. We'll look. See what's going on. That market open. Freaking Euro bears, man. It's pain. It's just watch them go up like that. We caught this one though. Caught a lot of it. I think it was 40 pips on this. 40 pips on Euro Kiwi. It just ended up going a little more. Took it, It just ended up, I don't know. It's crazy because just after we closed it, it pushed. And just pumped through. Now we're way up here in the extreme end of things. You just don't want to be long past here. This is where, you close your runner. This area up here, even if you've got a runner, this is where you get out of it. Just be done. Be glad that it went. Man. Yeah, good game on that. Man, that was a nasty close on Euro dollar though for the week.
Only thing that look interesting, BB, is USD CAD. Like not shorting, but not shorting right now though. Shorting positions, but not right now.
Yeah, I think it's probably. I mean, that's definitely going to pull back at some point. I wouldn't try it
Yeah.
yet.
I'm not shorting it yet.
I would
Yeah.
wait on it, but it's going to pull back
Coming
at some
soon.
point. Yeah, I would let it come up a little. Let's see, let it come up a little more. Let it show you first that it might be done. Put in some kind of failure, and then you give it a shot. But yeah, I would wait on it.
And that CAD JPY too.
Yeah, I remember you were in
Off the
that
top,
yesterday.
I'm still in that. Should have put a bigger position.
Yeah, it's all right. As long as you got something out of it, still good.
Yeah, I'm still holding it. Just trying to see. I might just hold this for long term. I got wrecked on AUD CHF. Took a small position. Now I'm trying to.
Watch things going in. It's Friday. See what's going on. We'll watch it all. Day's not over yet. You could be done for, unless you want to be done for the day and just chilling, that kind of thing. But, market's still moving. We'll see what we get. Oops. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll watch it here. We'll just check it out right now. There's really not much to do. I mean, just watching things that have just taken off. Just waiting for it to stop. See where things are going to quit for the day. We're just running hard to the downside on, a lot of the stuff. All the dollar stuff. Euro dollar, pound dollar, even pound yen. Pound ended up dying. Well, the yen, I guess. Yen and the dollar. God, that's crazy. Yen, the dollar, and the Swiss are way up there. Yeah, so anyway, let's watch it for a minute. Give me 1 second. I'll be back in a minute. Yo, yeah, what's up, Drake? What's up, man? Drake's in the house. Been a while. What's up, man? Just chilling. Kind of chilling today. Caught a bunch of stuff earlier. Just kind of hanging out. Hanging out at the house. Actually, the only person I actually know in real life, probably. IRL. What's up, man?
BB, how
What's
could
up?
you forget that drunken party?
I know, right?
You rocked. I tell you, I could do.
What happened?
I was going to say you
What
rocked
is-
my boat.
Oh, God. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Actually, it's funny you said that for a second. He said, remember that drunken party? I was like, man, I think Drake's actually probably been to the house where we've had a drunken party. So I thought you were talking about that. I was like, wait a minute, what? No, it's just funny you said that because it's funny. I'm sure Drake's been to the house before. Had a Halloween party, I think, yeah. Probably a couple times. I remember him and this girl with it was like a beekeeper or something. My girl made me dress up like the Little Mermaid. It's terrible. But yeah. Anyway, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's good to hear from you, man. Yeah, I'm just kind of chilling. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to let the dogs out the back real quick. Dogs need to go. I'll be right back, and we'll chill for a minute. Just kind of hanging out right now. Working on making some money. That's about it. Actually had a good day today. Just kind of chilling right now. I'm watching. See what we can take. We'll go over some stuff in a minute. Give me a second. Already back. Trying to get these Yorkies to come inside. It's like herding cats. Abu Dhabi. What are you doing in Abu Dhabi, man? That's funny. That's far. That's cool, man. Yeah, interesting. Hey, if you're still there, I'll say what's happening a little bit. What the heck? Abu Dhabi. Man, this sounds fun, actually. Sounds like an adventure. Gold, yeah, let's take a look at gold, actually. Hold on. Man. Yeah, I'm like out of breath. I was trying to run back. Yeah, gold finally took an L. On the bottom of a range. This is what I was kind of worried about, honestly. Was this coming all the way back? Hold on a second. I got a big range. Not really that bullish. Back to what I was worried about here. Is this rejecting off the top of the range and coming back to the low. So it's weird because higher time frames, that's not really that great. You know, going on to next week, you know. Probably already dropped enough today to, yeah, I don't know if I would chase that anymore, but maybe. It may break the low. It's probably close to putting in some kind of low here. You're kind of pushing it. You got equal lows down here. Got multiple lows at this level. It ended up going. I mean, it finally moved. Hasn't really been doing a lot the last couple days. Finally went. So that's good. Yeah, we'll see what happens next week. You know, if it can come down and put in a low down here, it may pull back up temporarily. You know, Monday. Yeah, duality. Yeah, it's nothing personal, duality. Yeah, no, we're just having a little debate there. No, you're good. No, we're good, man. It's all good. Yeah, welcome. We're here every day. We're here all the time. Yeah, it's nothing personal like that. It's having a little debate. No, I got it. I get it. No, I get it, man. I totally get it. Yeah, man. What the heck? Crazy dollar move today. Big move in the dollar. Everything moved, really. Where the dollar went up and some of the euro pairs both went up. Here, the euro just kind of stayed flat all day. It just stayed flat and everything moved around the euro. You know, it's like euro kiwi just died, you know, because the kiwi was the weakest. Aussie, CAD and kiwi all died and the euro stayed flat. And so they went nuclear because, you know, the secondary components left. It just took off to the downside. Interesting. You know, and then euro yen, euro Swiss, and euro dollar went the other way. Isn't that weird how, you know, if you actually look at it, you know, because the euro stayed flat, half the euro pairs went up big and half the euro pairs went down big. Pretty crazy. Kind of the same with the pound. Pound and the euro stayed relatively flat, and then everything else moved around them. This is the kind of day you want right there. Gotta catch the right pairs. Yeah, that's nuts. Crazy. You know, looking back at it now, you know, in hindsight, you can see what happened there. Yeah, it's always good to see, you know, get to talk both sides of it. Try not to take political stances here, because to be honest, I don't really care that much about it. I think I agree with a lot of neither one and some of both. I think they're both right and wrong at the same time, both sides. I think it's two halves of the same whole, but I don't know. I don't like the fact that you only get two choices. don't really subscribe to either theory most of the time. I think it's a little more complicated than that, but it's just me. Uh-oh. Hold on, dog's gonna bark. Hey, chill out, bro. Dogs are in WWF wrestling each other in the living room. But yeah, it's always good to, yeah, it's two halves of the same big turd. It kind of is. That's how it is in the U.S. at least. I think it's probably like that in most places. Probably like that in most places. Yep. But yeah, anyway, it's an interesting topic because it definitely affects what we're doing here, and it's kind of a big deal. It affects everybody in a way, you know, because there could be some really interesting consequences to that. And who knows? I think the thing is that we don't know if it's going to be net good or bad. You know, are the good things going to outweigh the bad things? You know, it seems to me that there's more negatives than positives, but that's just my personal view on it. I feel like it wasn't thought through very well, and hopefully everything's all right with it. Hopefully we don't get wrecked.
Hello.
Hold on there. You're good. Forgot. I always forget about the speaker.
Every time. Is it always me or?
No, it has nothing to do with you. I turn the speaker on so I can hear if anybody's talking. Like when I go to the kitchen, I'll turn the speakers on.
Yeah.
And I just forgot, you know.
I was going to say, gold is along at 1828.
Yeah, that may be. It's, it's kind of back to the bottom of a range. I would tend to agree kind of with that.
Yeah, 4 hour looks nice right here.
You know, it's back to the bottom of a range back here. You know, so, you know, that's what I was saying. You know, maybe Monday, I literally just said that, like 5 minutes ago. I was just talking about this being at the bottom of the range, that, you know, whenever this puts in a low, you know, it might go back up on Monday, you know, just because it's the bottom of a range. I think the question is, is it gonna break the high, you know, or is it just gonna go back up in the range a little bit? It's just this big, kind of wide, rangy situation. I don't know. We'll see if it breaks the low or what it's gonna do. We're watching it. Yeah, we're watching it. You know, right now it's just kind of chilling. I was just gonna say, whenever this makes a low,
yeah, man.
You know, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm done, man. I'm done a long time ago.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, we're just sitting here.
Yeah,
I made some nice profits today. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good day today.
Today was perfect, man.
That's what I was just saying. Like, everything moved. Like, I wish every day was like this, but everything moved around the euro and the pound. Like, the euro and the pound were just kind of flat, and everything else moved around it. And it's just, we got these big, nice flowing moves. Like, it wasn't all choppy crap. Like, it's like everything went. Like, you know, like all the euro pairs. Like, the euro pairs, it was just a good day.
Yeah, man. I longed every euro pair, almost every euro pair today morning. Yeah. And this is why I got so many good trades today.
Yeah, it was just a good,
it was all because
ended up just being good. You know, everything worked out. Yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, man, I agree, man.
Good day.
So for a good Monday.
Yeah. Next week will probably be good.
Hopefully, man.
Hopefully it'll be better. You know,
Dixie is looking perfect.
Yep.
More than perfect. The weekly is gonna close fat on Dixie right now.
Yep, that's kind of what we're waiting to see. How are we gonna close here on the weeklies?
Man, if that Dixie closes like this, bro, ooh-wee.
Yep.
That looks nice.
I gotta be up at 1:30 every day, bro, just chilling.
Yeah, waiting for those pullbacks. Yep.
Just some direction, man. That's all
exactly.
I want,
that's exactly what I'm. Yeah, finally, might have a little bit of direction here. Yeah, and it's something different. You know, we got something different, maybe. You know, even if it pulls back, you know, that daily's perfect. You know, because if we get a pullback day, or at least a little bit, you know, give you something to catch. You know, we might just continue this. Like, we might have a good week next week. You know, it could be an up week. Actually, I haven't looked at the weekly. Let's take a look.
I think I got the high on EU. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. That weekly is gonna close flat, you know.
That weekly looks really good. Yep.
It's gonna close flat right here. You know, no wicks, just a fat candle.
There's just so much room. There's so much room for this to go up.
It's an easy test on 94, man. Easy
Just,
retest.
just get a big count. One of these next couple weeks could just be massive.
Oh my
And
god.
there could just be a big shift coming, a big shift in the markets. You got the dollar on this crazy low. You got equities market on these crazy highs. Like, makes you wonder if there's going to be some rotation that happens. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, man, interesting weekly candle there. It's been a while since we've had one of those. Had actually a bullish candle that closed above the previous candle. When's the last time? Right here.
Yeah, man. If they
October.
close above the fib, man, it's perfect for me.
So it's been months. It's been October of last year since we've had a candle close above the previous a candle close above the previous one.
It's been a
since
while.
October. And before that, it was September. Yeah, September and October we had a week that actually closed higher than the previous, and this is really juicy stuff here. Hey, that looks good. Coming off the low like that looks good. Been a while since we've had an actual bullish week. Not just close green, but bullish, like actually in momentum. We've got movement here. It's been a while. It's good.
See, if I got my FTMO one day earlier, I would have got the top on EU, literally just the top. But they gave me one day late, and because of that, I couldn't get. I got it Thursday. If I got it Monday, I would have been just.
There'll be more opportunities for it. There'll be plenty of opportunities on this. There's a long way that this could go up. Just to make a retracement.
94, man. 93, 94. That's it.
Like realistically, like even if this comes up and fails, like what if this just came up and did that and then rolled back? Like, even if it fails, like that's a long way up. In structure, like this could be like a major. It might be if it's a higher low. That's it. This is what we were talking about, that level. That weekly level. I took it off the chart, but on the weekly down here, if it's going to make a higher low, this is it. This is the last chance. So yeah, I mean, we could have some really good trading coming up here. Just having a direction on the dollar. That's exactly what we've been talking about. Just give us some direction. Get out of the chop, get out of the whipsaw, and just give us a direction. And then you can figure it out from there. Once we have a directional bias on the dollar, that kind of changes a lot of things. Could be the euro too. The euro overall, maybe finally decreasing in value a little bit for the next couple weeks. So we'll see what happens with euro dollar. Man, euro CAD's still bullish. Yeah, this euro CAD is just still bullish. It's crazy how that's going to close. Just going to close full railroad tracks here, full tweezer bottom on the daily. Like there's a lot. There's just so much room, man. There's a lot of room for this to go up. When it closes a big tweezer bottom on the daily, on Monday, if we pull back, if we don't break the low on Monday, just going to be buying this all next week. It's just easy call. On Monday, when this opens and pulls back down, if it doesn't break that low and come all the way back down, we're probably going to get multiple days of upside after that. There's a lot of these euro pairs that are just juicy. Like, look at this Euro Aussie. Again, just looking, are we going to break the low on Monday? It's the only question. And if not, I think it's Euro Kiwi. Look at this. Big bullish engulfing, full railroad tracks off the low. We're just looking for that small body pullback. It's very likely to have a pullback day, but not a failure. We want to watch center mass here. On Monday, if we come back and don't die, then this could just be that, that could start the move, probably back up to something like this, like some kind of range up here. That would make sense. There could just be a multi-day run, multi-week run, maybe even coming here. On some of these euro pairs that are very low like that, Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi. We might finally be getting some kind of directional change. But again, watching the candle on Monday, make sure this doesn't die. Just anticipating, what might happen if this daily candle closes like this, what might happen? You know, there's very likely going to be some kind of pullback, at least a little bit, and we'll monitor that. You know, on Monday we'll go through all this stuff again. You know, Monday morning we'll try to get up early Monday and go through all this. Yeah, I don't know. We'll try to get up early Monday. I think next week's going to be good. I mean, we might have some, you know, again, just some direction on some of the stuff. Juicy, man, on the dollar. It does look good. But yeah, I'm just kind of watching right now. It's Friday. Friday, ain't got no job. And just chilling. You know, like Euro Kiwi, you know, right here. This was an amazing run on that. But do you really want to, you know, play with fire there? You know, when we're up to an equal high like that, this looks really good. Honestly, if this would pull back just a little bit, make a higher low next time, there's going to be another opportunity on this because we got equal highs. You got these equal highs here, and it wasn't really a lower high. It came all the way back up. That is a very good sign. So what you want to see ideally is for this to pull back, but not break the low. You want this to pull back, make a higher low. Just price action discussion. You know, strategy aside, this has nothing to do with strategy, but you know, just price action wise, you know, you want to see this come back, make a higher low. You're looking for that evidence of that reversal where it's going to make a higher low, and then you want to be long on that for the big run. You know, it's probably going to go up and break that high. You know, if it comes back and doesn't break that low like that, there could be a big move coming back up on this. You know, multi-day run here, but it needs to pull back first. We're probably going to have pullback days on Monday. If you look at where all these daily candles are and just structurally where all this is, you know, as far as price action is concerned, you know, you got these range highs. Like this is a good example, Euro Kiwi. Quite a few things are doing this kind of stuff. You know, gold, kind of the same thing. Everything's getting to these like range lows and highs. You know, so we may need a couple pullback days. You know, probably one. Oh, I think I hear the mailman. Dog might bark. Hold on. Yep.
BB.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, today was a good trading day. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure but yeah.
I need to go back to work now.
Okay. All right.
See,
Yeah, we'll
see
do
you
it.
soon.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome.
All right.
We're
All right.
here.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
it easy. Yep. Yeah. I was gonna say if he's in London, it's probably about 8 or 9 o'clock, something like that. That makes sense. So anyway. Yeah, it's maybe on pound Aussie. Yeah, just make sure to have a stop in. It could. No, it's probably going to go down. It's probably going to end up going down. But just, stop. Make sure your stop's in. Yeah, what the heck, man? Freaking CAD died. Dollar CAD ended up being a good combination today, with the dollar doing what it did. And look at that. What the heck? These 1 hour candles. It's bonkers. That's funny. That's a heck of a move on dollar CAD. It's just, it was a good synergy. Looking back at it now, it's hard to see that early in the morning. You got to position for it and guess, but the dollar went one way and the CAD went the other way. It's both. Dollar Kiwi is another one, or Kiwi dollar short was probably ridiculous. The dollar was way strong, so strongest currency, and then the Canadian dollar was really weak today. So it was a perfect trade. On dollar CAD, just ended up mooning. That's interesting. Let's look at Kiwi dollar. Hey, anyway. Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably a nasty short today too. Kiwi dollar, because the dollar went up and the Kiwi went down all the way. Just two extremes. That's wild. But that went way farther. Yeah, that exceeded your extreme kind of level. Yep. Just anything beyond this level, is just unfavorable to be short anymore. Sometimes you'll get a weird day where things just go way far, but it's not very often. Most of the time, things tend to trade when inside of this range. It's just a good map. It's like a road map of the day before it happens. But yeah, it's no longer favorable to be short here today. As far as right now, you don't want to be taking position short. That's kind of what this is. It's gone way too far. But yeah, good. Man, that was a good one. Man, big trades today. It's crazy, how different days can be. Some days are just crap, like yesterday, and then today you just get these big, strong, just sustained moves. Just sustained move. It kept going. Push and pull, push and pull, push and pull, and just kept going down. It wasn't all choppy and messy. Probably the low of the day here on probably might be the high of the day on the dollar. This looks like this is a potential low forming here on pound dollar. Might have the high. Barely broke the high here. It's a beautiful run today. That was it. You can't really ask for more than that. You're hitting targets. You're hitting your projected high. It's money. It's just a money day. Good day. I just pretty much kind of played it safe today. I didn't take too big of a positions, but I don't know. We might start trading a little bit bigger positions. Trading 1 or 2 lots instead of I've been taking smaller positions on purpose. To make a point more than anything. But probably make more money. It's time now. That's the first of the year. Go back to actual trading bigger positions. Look at this Euro CAD. It's going to go again. Bad. Wild. It's just not done. It's not really a good time to buy it, but it looks like it's not done. So anyway, we got a bunch of craziness in the market. We'll see what kind of highs we get. Just looking for things to pull back. Like some of this, like Euro Kiwi, Euro Aussie, like all these things that made these big moves. They're likely to pull back a little bit. It's just a little risky to short it. I think we're going to get a pullback on Monday and it's probably honestly not a bad idea to try to take it short here, but it's a little risky. We'll watch and see what happens here. Kind of marking off the high, the current high of the day. Anyway, I'm gonna make something to eat real quick. I'll be back. We'll finish this day up. I don't know. We'll just watch and see what's going on. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
show the USD CAD right here. Let's see what's going on.
Alrighty, YouTube. Hold on a second. I need to restart the stream. If you want to come on back, we're going to be back here. We'll switch it over to the Bitcoin show here in just a little bit toward the end of the day. But, you know, as the market closes today, I just leave it on over the weekend. But I need to archive the New York stream today. So we'll do that. If you want to come back, we'll be right back in 10 seconds or so. I just got to stop the stream for just a minute, and then the new one will start. Anyway, give me just a minute.